All right. Wait 1 second. Denims, you are edging us. We wish to rave. No! Damn you, Firefox.
We're learning the...
No! My comedic timing! Oh, I blame Firefox for this. It dragged the tab on and it replaced the tab. When has anyone ever wanted to do that? Genuinely. When have you ever been like, oh, I don't like this tab. Instead of closing it, I'd like to drag a different tab on top of this one. What the fuck? No way. Did you actually get it? Image contains too many frames. Now they're just making shit up, man. Twitch is just making shit up. Yeah, we can't use this one because there's too many frames and it bothers me.
Longtime Republican Senator Lindsey Graham has passed away. His office says he died on Saturday night after what they call a brief and sudden illness. The statement says Graham's family is asking for privacy at this time. He represented the state of South Carolina in the U.S. Congress since 1995. Let's bring in CNN's Alex Michelson, anchor of The Story Is. Alex, you are on the West Coast there. How are you processing this news that has just come in, the shocking death of a senator who had just been in Ukraine?
Let me say, I don't want to hear shit from fucking Republicans, all right?
He has died.
Yeah, I mean, just posted a bunch of statements onto X yesterday in his official capacity. Pictures and images of him working over the last few weeks are out there. So this coming out of nowhere, that Lindsey Graham, one of the most important and influential voices in the United States Senate for many years, somebody who has been one of the biggest champions of more United States military intervention, somebody who has championed the idea of military intervention in Iran for many years, somebody who's championed the United States relationship with Israel very closely for many years. And now, all of a sudden, you know, there's been so much conversation about Mitch McConnell's medical reality right now. Nobody would have thought this would come now. It's been an extraordinary life of public service, a controversial life. Somebody who was in the United States House of Representatives for many years, been in the Senate for many years as well, became a close ally of John McCain and Joe Lieberman. They called themselves the Three Amigos and viewed themselves as sort of mavericks within the Republican Party.
Anyways, guys, as you all know, as you've all seen the news, it's a bad week for Grams. All right. It is a bad, bad week. All right. Man. Sorry for all the Grams out there. How do you do this? I did this before. Why can't I make this image transparent? The hell? There's a way to do this. whatever. We'll figure this out later. But yeah, so Lindsey Graham passed away. It's true. It has happened. I've already seen the conspiracy theorists, by the way. Pretty wild that the sentence Graham unexpectedly drops out was relevant twice this week. Yeah. Can we keep this tweet for the corner in the corner for the rest of the day? Yes, because I hate when fucking chuds are like, this is why there's violence in this country, because the left is so mean. And this Trump tweet where Trump is just outwardly like, Robert Mueller just died. Good. I'm glad he's dead. He can no longer hurt innocent people. President Donald J. Trump. I'm sorry. Some random lady on the internet versus the President of the United States. Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. I am getting word. Wait. I'm getting word that he actually died because he refused CPR from a woman so as not to upset his polycule, his gay polycule with Mitch McConnell and Hassan Piker. Yeah. Yeah, the reporting has been confirmed just now. Wow. What a hero. What a great guy. He's an amazing person. All right, anyways. What were we talking about? Apparently Lindsey Graham died from suffocation because he wouldn't come out of the closet. That's so sad. Why are you guys all so happy about the death of a gay icon? He paved the way and proved that you can feast on the blood of millions, no matter your sexuality. You're so right, King. They say the next bombs will be dropped by a gay person. In your view, what are the odds they got him, huh? The gay people? They already claimed him a long time ago. What, huh? Stop. I'm still cooking, but you can look at the progress. Wait, what is this? No, stop. I can't. I can't even. You're crazy, Chance Poop Pants. Stop. All right. I need the gay escorts to spill it. I know, right? Like, come on, man. Come on, please. Please. I've created a compliant GIF. Good. The state services of Twitch will be pleased. You have avoided the gulag. I like how it's so fast now. Well, I can't. I'll show you guys in a second. Hold up. Let me do this. Wait. Hold. It's so fast. Alright, wait. Let me add it right now. I gotta say, that's some serious commitment. Commitment to the craft. Door to Rat World. This is usually why I don't ask people to help with things, because it's always like 400 different things, and it's like, listen, man, I feel bad asking. Oh, by the way, it's wrong here. Oh, by the way, this is also not right. Oh, by the way, sorry. There's too many frames. I can't wait to see your downfall, you pig cunt. You know, you don't have to censor the word cunt, right? You can just write it like you don't have to be like a bitch-ass baby that can't use scary words. You know that, right? All right, keep waiting, bitch. Keep waiting until, I guess you hit 71 as well, man. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. Let's see. Did it work? Words are so scary. Wait, guys. I might have to make this emote zoom in or something, but I saw one edit of this one where it zooms in on my face when I do the thing. Like that. But, yeah. We'll see. Look at him. Oh, look. I'm so proud of you. You used a big boy word. Cunt. I'm glad you needed permission to use the big boy word. Oh. I know sometimes doing it yourself is so scary. Block me already. But this is so much more fun. Why would I do something that's less fun? Hello? Use your brain for a second, chatter. Ugly fuck! No. Not the Twitch user whose account was created June 27, 2026 and following since June 29, 2026. Thinks I'm ugly. How am I gonna recover? No. Guys, it's over. Denims is 10 billion% done. Anyways. All right, now. Let me close this stuff. Wait. Wait, we have an emote. I think it's working. DNM smoke. Oh, yes. I want to get an edit where it zooms in as well, but... All right. Check the link I sent if you want to see the sex worker talking about Graham. Wait, the escorts have spilled? Wait, okay, sorry. Let me just do a quick, like, title coverage. Okay, first and foremost, Lindsey Graham, obviously. We have to talk about it. Second, did you guys see Candace Owens is back on shitting on the Daily Wire? It's amazing. I'm here for it. You guys know I love right-wing infighting. I love grabbing the bucket of popcorn and enjoying the show because you do not, in fact, what do I always say? You do not have to hand it to them. But you can always go ahead and grab a bucket of popcorn and enjoy the show. All right, so maybe we'll watch the Candace Owens video. There's a lot of like variety content. YouTube algo yesterday was like, and this one, and another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. So there's like a lot of good stuff that I wanted to show you guys. And then I saw that Clavicular was in Israel. What the fuck, dude? Stop. Come on, man. And then there was something else. Oh. He already has a Mossad handler. No. As a reminder, please test your poppers. What is that? I don't even know what testing your poppers means. What? What are you talking about? I don't know what that means. You can't test your poppers. It's nail polish remover because he died. Poppers is something you use when you want your asshole to be ready for sex. Guys, I'm being exposed as being a fake member of the queer community because I don't have enough gay friends, I guess. Sorry. It's the test your coke meme. Oh, like test your coke for fent, but you test your poppers so it doesn't, but like kill you like Grand Platinum. Like Lindsey Graham, is that what it is? Is that the joke? Sorry, I'm girl, you're getting put in the contraption. I just had this conversation recently and had the same reaction. Oh, okay. Poppers don't get laced though, what the fuck? That's what you think. You forgot to consider John Popper Lacer, who's laced 10,000 poppers in the past day. Stupid. All right, enough. So we got a lot of stuff to get to. Thank you again. Everyone say thank you to where did their chat message go? No. The Twitch chatter that made this. Thank you. I get you into zoomed in one eventually. Don't worry, buddy. It's okay. Take your time. But thank you. Thank you for working hard on this emote, Door to Rat World. We have a temporary, at least, denim smoke. DNM smoke. All right. Let's close all this stuff. All right. I got to do this, but before we do that, let's see. Close. Close. No. 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 Yes. There's that weird two-finger claw grip on the SIG. You wouldn't know. Only real cigar smokers hold it like that. All right? All right. You just wouldn't understand. Okay, some of us... What is it? Some of us are literally Protoss and we don't have enough fingers, okay, to hold cigars any other way. So how about you be a little bit more considerate of other species? Okay. Did you look up correct Protoss spelling? I always want to say proton, and I'm like, that's not right. It's not right. That's not right. So I always have to be like, it is Protoss, right? And I double check. I'm such a hydralisk for real. So true. All right, enough. Dude, imagine finding out that Lindsey Graham is dead because of a fucking TikTok edit.
Forget it. I'm not with you. I'm with Israel. I will be with Israel to our dying day. They're the best ally we could hope for. So we have a commander-in-chief in President Trump, who I think is Ronald Reagan plus, plus, plus.
Dude, this edit goes so fucking hard. It's like insane. Sorry, I'm done. Mute, nuke, muted words, Graham, Plattner, Maine, Jackson, Mills, MGP, Collins, forever. That's funny as fuck, dude. Can we go one more time for the one time?
Forget it. I'm not with you. I'm with Israel. I will be with Israel to our dying day. They're the best ally we could hope for. So we have a commander-in-chief in President Trump, who I think is Ronald Reagan plus, plus, plus. Forget it.
All right, enough of that. I figured out how to do this. There we go. We'll just have this on the screen. Maybe a little smaller. Actually, we should make it nice and small so when people come in and they're like, this is why there's violence, I can blow it up. Wait a minute. Left-wing violence, blow it up. Monka giga. This is the most Graham smoke I've seen so far. Holy shit. Michael Fanone's take on Lindsey Graham is one of the most powerful I've read. Lindsey Graham said, I will always remember my first and only encounter with him when he looked like the grieving mother of a dead police officer in the face. Sorry, when he looked the grieving mother of a dead police officer in the face and barked that he wasn't going to listen to her blame Trump for January 6th. When I showed him my body cam footage from that day, he turned away and looked at his phone. Rest in piss, you fucking worthless scumbag. If there is hell, I hope you're in it. I'm also getting reporting right now. Flags at Grindr headquarters have been lowered to half staff. Okay. God bless. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. For a moment, I thought none of us were going to show our respect, but, you know. And I was thinking... Also, like, listen, you guys know I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I really like other people who are conspiracy theorists, and I like watching other people go crazy with the conspiracy theories. But I just can't believe, like, 99% more than that of conspiracy theories. However, it's so tempting to be a conspiracy theorist when you see fucking titles like this. Breaking! Lindsey Graham dies at 71 after brief and sudden illness. Like, you're making me want to believe something. I just don't know what yet.
go ahead and go back to Fox News Chief Washington correspondent Chad Pergram. Chad, we were just talking about what this is going to mean in the midst of everything that's going on right now, especially with Iran and the Strait of Hormuz. What is your take on that, and how things are going to progress in the coming days?
Well, this probably, paralyzes things even more operationally in the Senate. Your previous guest had said, I hope people don't try to take advantage of this politically, and I think that there's always a respect by.
Oh my God, so true. I hope no one would ever take advantage of something. I hope no one on the left, because the right never does it. I hope no one would ever take advantage. Ever. Ever. Okay. Have you watched the Alex Jones-Sneeko debate? It's funny as fuck. No. Someone said that they watched it or something, but I didn't. Yeah, we're going to talk about this in a second. How did you know what I was going to pull up next? iPick. That's what I was going to pull up next. Suska.
That on both sides of the aisle in Congress when something like this happens, but they were having operational problems to start with to get things done. That was something that just the numbers, the math just did not work well to start with. So that's something that's going to be a problem right away. And so maybe the immediate issue is, can they even get a budget reconciliation bill done, because you're changing budget committee chairman mid-course here. Obviously, somebody else has to step into that role. You also have to have somebody, just to have the votes. You have to get to 60 votes on a lot of things. You don't have to get to 60 votes on budget reconciliation, but you just have one less vote. And it's even more complicated when everybody was trying to figure out what was the status of Mitch McConnell, the former majority leader, who's just not there. On any given day, there are just a number of people who are out in the Senate. People have graduation parties, people have surgeries, people have things they have to be at with their wife or spouse. It's very hard to get 100 people in the same room at the same time. And so I think that is one of the issues. It's going to be very interesting to see the development here of what this means with President Trump, because, again, as I said, Lindsey Graham was somebody who was opposed to President Trump back in 2016.
Congrats again on winning the lawsuit. Thank you.
And then gradually began to change his position, certainly became one of his biggest advocates, and, was very much whispering in his ear, certainly on this issue of Iran in recent days. And I said, I talked to him, the night before the airstrike started back in February, because, we were trying to figure out, was there actually going to be conflict? And he was somebody advocating for that position and thought that they really had to go sooner rather than later, had been disappointed in early January because there was a push to maybe move, early February, maybe to move then, and that didn't happen. Happened at the end of February. We've been in that position now, and now with other strikes in the Strait of Hormuz, we're.
Denims, I just want to thank you for your wonderful political commentary on somber days like today. Sources tell me Lindsey is stable. Please God, dude, I saw someone revitalize that meme and from the origin story, and I have to say I remember thinking at the time, this is insane. That no one ever cared about grilling Tim Pool for this, ever. What the fuck were his sources? I remember seeing that and being like, well, I don't know how good of a source Tim Pool is. But it would be crazy, I guess. It would be just so insane if this happened. Let me see if I can pull it up. I can just show you guys what I mean. No, I don't want to ask YouTube anything.
The memorandum of understanding has pretty much been thrown out the window, and everybody trying to figure out what they're going to do next. How does this shape what the policy is? Is there somebody there who is, consulting with the president? He certainly has plenty of other people to consult with, but somebody on this issue who is as active as Lindsey Graham. That's going to be a question, whether it be this issue or just understanding how things go in the United States, Senate. From a reporting standpoint, he was somebody who always had his finger on the pulse of what was going on.
He always had his pulse. Well, not always. Well, not always. Some might say he lost his pulse.
On the Senate, just not, somebody who you could, as I said in our earlier comments here about, calling him on various issues, and he was always in the middle of every single conflict or whatever it was, be it a domestic policy issue, a foreign policy issue.
Okay, sorry, I found the original tweet. There was a funny quote tweet that I saw, but I remember after Charlie Kirk got shot, and there was so much reporting, and I remember seeing like the video and being like he's dead. Like there's no way that he's not dead. Like you don't survive that. Wait, something happened to Charlie Kirk? Shut the fuck up. Shut up. And I was like I saw the video and I was like, and then I remember seeing this fucking dumb fuck tweet at the time. Tim Pool saying, sources tell me Charlie is stable. Please God. I received a call from a trustworthy source who told me this. I want to believe it. I'm hoping. And I was like, huh? What? Huh? I don't think so. I mean, maybe he does have I guess I don't have a source. I just have the same video everybody else. Received a call. Who the fuck is calling Tim Pool? Yeah. Did Charlie die years ago? His wife seems so recovered. I forgot why I brought that up, but anyways, yeah.
But also somebody who, could really understood where the votes were in the Senate, had relationships with people, and just, there's always been, and somebody who's covered the Senate for a long time, there's always been these different figures who, aren't formally in the leadership, but are somebody who just knows where everything is set up in the Senate and knows where all the votes are and knows what all the different dynamics were. And Lindsey Graham in the contemporary Congress was that. He had some years ago worked, very closely with John McCain, the late senator from Arizona who died some years ago. I remember talking with Lindsey Graham about trying to, he really wanted to, have some sort of a physical homage for John McCain in the United States Senate, be it maybe changing the name of the Russell Senate office building or a statue or something like that. Nothing has ever happened with.
Interesting. Another guy who claimed to be pro-life and yet. And then Trump shit on that. Didn't Lindsey just win his primary? Couldn't even stick it out for the midterms. SMH my head. It's just that nobody wants to work anymore, man. That's the truth. That's the fucking truth, man. It's just like, show up to work, man. Like, what the hell? Unbelievable. Everyone's so fucking lazy now. First time watching, amazing first impression, let me tell you. I like how this could go either way. This could either be someone who's like really mad because they're like, he's dead, have some respect. But then I see like the pink cheetah pattern. And I'm like, okay, you're probably based actually. You're actually probably based. Because there's no chud repping a pink cheetah pattern. Let's be real, right? I've never seen a chud rep that, ever. But I guess, Okay, wait.
With John McCain, but that was something that Lindsey Graham was working on very closely. There was, he was somebody who had this kind of foreign policy group. He was working then with Kelly Ayotte, who was then a senator from New Hampshire at the time, and they were always together working on these different policy issues, especially foreign policy. This is back during the Obama years. So again, I think that kind of gives you a sense of Lindsey Graham. But right now, I mean, if you thought things were challenging in the Senate before, and people were already staring at this coming week as being challenging, probably with Mitch McConnell being out maybe yet again for an undetermined period of time, and now you don't know who's going to be the next senator from South Carolina.
What? It's just so challenging right now. These people, like, they show up to work and some other people aren't there, and then they go on vacation and do insider trading. It's just such a challenging time for Congress right now. What the fuck? Huh?
And how quickly that person can come in and maybe even, then have somebody on the ballot and begin to serve again. I mean, it just puts more question marks on a lot of things, especially on the Republican side. I think that this really probably means in the near term that any chance to do budget reconciliation, which were pretty scant before in the Senate, they might try to get something through the House, but it makes it even more challenging in the Senate, especially since he was the chair of the Budget Committee, and that's where that comes through. That
right,
that
Chad.
very
So
policy
then,
issue.
Chad, how does that work then? I mean,
Chat. How does that work?
is there someone that will just step right in?
You know, the thing that, I was about to say the same thing. Elmdale. I also just had a 20-minute conversation. Well, sorry, to be more specific, it was a 17-minute conversation with Lindsey Graham. So I'm not sure that this reporting is updated, because I actually just talked to him, and he was telling me about how great everything was going, and yeah. So I don't.
And take over and try to keep things moving along, or is this, like you said, going to just put a halt to things for now?
Yeah. Well, this is going to be something that is going to be up to the leadership. It might, because we're well into this Congress, and you're going to certainly have some people start to look ahead and say, do they want to? Does the next person up want to be that person? As I said, he's been somebody who's been with the Judiciary Committee. He's been on a lot of other different committees over the years, and somebody might say, well, I'd like to maybe be on that committee, but I'm not so sure that's I'm looking ahead. There's going to be horse trading.
What's interesting is that this actually does make a massive opening for Dems in South Carolina. Graham dominated that seat, and there's likely no Republican that people will recognize to fill it. I like the idea also of Trump being like, grow the fuck up, all right? Grow up, like literally grow up, okay? We can't lose any more seats. I actually had a 47-minute brainstorming session with Mitch and Lindsey. We were writing our Netanyahu x Trump Yowie for AO3. Oh, okay, so he's fine. Oh, okay. They're actually dying from too much growing up. Didn't think about it that way, man. Fuck. Are they still pretending? Sorry, one second. Are they still pretending like Mitch is alive? I like how the last footage we've seen of Mitch McConnell is like some EMT workers moving his body with no sense of urgency at all. They're like, yeah, just put it right there. Mm-hmm. It's like, I've never seen EMT workers be that chill. In fact, usually they look really stressed and they're always rushing. So what's going on here? What's happening? Oh, I just talked to Mitch for 20 minutes on my Ouija board. He said he's on his way to recovering. Oh, thank God. All right. Phew. For a moment, I was stressed. All right. For a moment, I was concerned. Okay. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Hold up. No.
The person right now who's the ranking Republican after him is Chuck Grassley. Okay, well, Chuck Grassley is a couple of decades older than Lindsey Graham was. That's the first thing you got to look at. And number two, he is the chairman of the Judiciary Committee right now. Okay, well, you keep going down the line here. Then you have Mike Crapo, Republican of Idaho. He is the chairman of the banking committee. So again, you keep going down these. Hold on here. I'm sorry, Mike Crapo is not the chairman of the banking committee, but again, you keep going down the list here, and you just see. I look at Ron Johnson from Wisconsin. You have Roger Marshall. You have John Cornyn. You have Mike Lee, John Kennedy. I mean, these are the members of the Budget Committee, and so if somebody say, okay, I'll do this for the rest of the Congress, but this is not the position that I want to have in the new Congress. And again, we don't know whether or not Republicans would be in the majority or not. But you go through this process and see who wants to be, and it's something that the Senate Republican Conference is going to have to hash out. I mean, right now, Grassley would probably be the person to step in, but he's got his hands full.
Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if the GOP is testing out AI videos of McConnell's body to make it seem like he's awake / not brain dead, but none of the videos are passing the focus groups. Now that I fucking believe. The polycule of death, Piker's romantic relationships destroying democracy. Who did this? This is our resident shit poster. Best in the game, by the way. Also, I gotta say, the speed at which you did this is kind of low-key crazy. The typography is insane. All right? Like, low-key, you just started... This chatter, Chance's Poopin, just started working on this, like, 20 minutes ago, maybe. And they made a masterpiece. Versus, I don't know if you guys saw that awful typography video of, like, the Jimmy Kimmel piece. You know what I'm fucking talking about? I don't know. This is, like, so fucking niche. That video was awful, yeah. Okay. All right, here we go. This one, New York Magazine by Susanna Hayward. And it's like a time lapse of this woman trying to make this like cover for New York Magazine. He's been doing this longer than anyone. He can't believe it either. Somebody help Jimmy Kimmel. By the way, the text choice is crazy. The words, dude, this is so peak. Graphic design is my passion. Somebody help! Help! Somebody help! Oh my god, dude. Can you imagine this your job, man? And they say being a streamer's a fake job, bro. Why'd they make it gay, man? What the hell? Somebody help. Dude, the font with like the black bars behind it looks like a fucking hostage letter. Somebody help. Graphic design is my passion. The Riddler making his Riddler cards for Batman be like. Meanwhile, we have in-house Susanna that actually is fire as hell. This is amazing. This actually, graphic design is your passion. What the heck? How long is that IRL, do you think? Probably like at least an hour, maybe probably 2. Oh my god. All right. Wait, guys. You guys are sending too many good links. I'm like going through them one at a time. He's already been reincarnated. With immeasurable thanks to God. Sorry, Ben Shapiro tweet. With immeasurable thanks to God, we're proud to announce the addition of baby number 5 to the Shapiro family this morning. Oh. Uh-oh. Dude, Ben's gonna be really unhappy when he finds out his 5th kid is gay. He's gonna be so mad about it. Oh, thanks, Sir Davila. Also, Afro, thank you for the gift up to Lindsey Graham Yowie. No. Viao. I can't read that. I'm illiterate. Baby about to be racist as fuck. Well, that's fine. Racist ass baby will fit just right in the Shapiro household. Bro, what is this? What are you sending me? What is this? Why can't I hear it? Hello?
Work it, girl. Do your twirl. DL trade. That motherfucker's undercover. Work. Supermodel. Work it, girl. Of the world. Wet your lips and suck the dick you found on Grindr. Work.
What are you sending me? What are you fucking sending me? This is his legacy.
Work, work. Now turn to the right. Work. Ha. Lindsey, he's gay. Work. Turn to the left. Say work. Turn to the right. Work. Come on, Lindsey, he's gay. You better.
I would say thank you, but I don't feel thankful in my heart. Gen Z and Gen Alpha have convinced me to never die. I'm so scared of what they'll do to me on the internet afterward. I mean, remember when, who was it that said, because of this, you guys don't know what's coming. There'll be a million Charlie Kirks. And then they didn't know how right they were going to be. They truly had no idea. I saw people are like Kirkifying themselves for anonymity. You guys see this? I guess I can't find it. Someone went to like FurryCon or something and they were Kirkified for anonymity. But I can't find it. The hell? Why is this so difficult to find? Oh well. If you saw the post, you know what I'm talking about. Alright. Besides that, hold up. I have so many fucking clips open, Jesus. I was looking for some highlights on why people hate Lindsey Graham. Do you guys remember when he did this? Remember when he said that we should just let as many Americans die in the Iran war as possible? Some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
I trust DOD. We got 2 Marine expeditionary units sailing to this island. We did Iwo Jima. We can do this. The Marines, my money's always on the Marines. I don't know if you take the island or you blockade the island, but I know this. The day we control that island, this regime, this terrorist regime, has been weakened. It will die on a vine.
Hi again, everybody. It is 5 o'clock now in Washington, D.C. I'm Alicia Menendez, in today for Nicole Wallace. For the sake of a purely political conversation, think of it kind of like a stress test, an unprecedented experiment into just how much the MAGA coalition will tolerate before whatever binds it together weakens or perhaps breaks altogether. Because what is going on in Iran right now, a war initiated by someone who promised he would keep us out of them, is increasingly exposing some pretty serious cracks between Donald Trump's political allies.
Donald Trump?
We showed you some of that interview with Senator Lindsey Graham last hour, but consider now the backlash the American people observed as a result of those comments, invoking Iwo Jima, an operation that resulted in the deaths of nearly 7,000 American troops, to advocate for a similar strategy in Iran. Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, a card-carrying member of Trump's MAGA coalition, said she was deeply upset at the lack of respect for life, suggesting Senator Graham was, quote, acting as if our troops are expendable cattle. Her Republican colleague, Congresswoman Nancy Mace, seemed to agree, insisting Graham, quote, has one foreign policy, send someone.
You know it's bad when even the Republicans didn't like you. When even your fellow Republicans were like, this guy fucking sucks, man.
Else's kid to war. Those weren't the only such responses either. Indeed, the America First corner of Donald Trump's support. Even those who granted Trump latitude in the dawn days of this Iran conflict are starting to reckon with the possibility that Trump might follow the advice of another corner of support, one advocating for boots on the ground and billions upon billions of dollars in war funding. Remember Joe Kent, the now former director of the National Counterterrorism Center under Donald Trump, resigned from that position in protest over the war? Well, in an interview with the Washington Post, Kent described why he's been so public with multiple outlets in voicing opposition. From the Post, quote, "It's a concerted effort," Kent said, "to rally members of the president's Make America Great Again movement and ensure he hears dissenting voices on an issue that has divided Republicans." While some Trump supporters are inclined to use military might to influence global affairs, others, like Kent, say they chose to support him in part because he voiced scorn for America's earlier wars. A widening rift inside Donald Trump's political coalition is where we begin this hour. Political analyst, former Senator Claire McCaskill is here. Also with us, political analyst and host of the Bulwark podcast, Tim Miller, is here for the hour. Plus, retired U.S. Marine Corps Lieutenant Colonel Amy McGrath. She is a candidate for the open Senate seat in Kentucky. It is good to see you all. Amy, I want to read just a little bit to you from the Washington Post on Joe Kent. They say Kent declined to disclose what the administration may be planning, but said Trump appears to have some really key decisions to make in the next couple of weeks. The potential deployment of U.S. ground troops makes me very nervous, he added, citing recent reporting that the president is considering seizing Karg Island, Iran's main hub for oil exports. I just think that would be a disaster, Kent said, of deploying U.S. troops there. It would essentially be giving Iran a bunch of hostages on an island that they could barrage with drones and missiles. Amy, your thoughts?
Sure. I mean, look, Karg Island.
Anyways, yeah, old news, but you know it's bad when even the Republicans didn't fucking like him, but I'm sure right now they'll all suck up to him and be like, anyone who says anything bad about him is a terrorist sympathizer and they hate freedom in our country and they hate us. I was trying to pull up something on like why everyone thinks that like a concise video on why everyone thinks that Lindsey Graham is gay. But I saw this video and the title and the thumbnail are just so good. Lindsey Graham was just caught being drunk and gay. It's from February. You ever get caught being drunk and gay?
Lindsey Graham was caught being drunk and gay on Fox News earlier this week.
Preposterous. Me, a homosexual. The very idea makes me howl with manly laughter.
This video has gone viral, and then after this video went viral, someone compiled a list of all the accusations against Lindsey Graham and his alleged homosexuality. Lindsey Graham, I'm not sure if he's drunk or gay in this clip, but he certainly seems that way. And
You ever seem drunk and gay?
previously, during I think this is the 2016 presidential run or around that time, Lindsey Graham was asked when playing a raunchy bar game who he would be into as a very eligible bachelor. And his answer was very telling.
Can we just...
There's a fun bar game, which I will clean up because we are in mixed company and on television. So I'm going to call it Date, Marry, or Make Disappear Forever.
Okay.
You guys know what the real thing is, right? You know what the real thing is, right?
I think I'm going to do a lot of the disappear forever.
Rhymes with...
Okay, this is awesome.
This is so cringe. Please.
So, date, marry, or disappear forever. Hillary Clinton, Carly Fiorina, Sarah Palin.
I didn't know we were going to do the Mormon thing here.
Date, marry, or make disappear forever. Take your time, Senator. We've got all night.
We can't go beyond dating. That's as far as I'm going dating.
Who do you want to date? Do you want to date Hillary Clinton, Carly
you
Fiorina, or
can't
Sarah
do all
Palin?
three? Okay.
No. So you have to pick one.
Did he say I would date all three?
One of them you date.
This is really painful. But
Oh my God. He doesn't understand the question and the game because it's about women.
by the way, this is like Dana Bash. I know that's not even the point of this video, but this is not a serious individual. Like this, like, what are you doing? I'm a YouTuber and I've asked more serious questions to politicians. Like, I would be embarrassed if I were on the receiving end of this being a senator. And secondly, I just have secondhand embarrassment for Dana Bash. Like, why are you what are you doing?
One of them you marry, and one of them you make disappear
Sarah
forever.
Palin, we'll go hunting on our first date.
Okay, who are you marrying?
I got to marry one of the three?
Yeah, that's how it works.
Oh my God. I can't, dude. Like, if you can't follow, these are our senators, by the way. Well, not anymore, but this guy was a senator. He can't understand a simple question.
Keep up.
I got to really watch what I say here.
Okay, so it's date, marry, or make disappear forever. Hillary Clinton, Carly Fiorina, or Sarah Palin, and Sarah Palin.
Carly, because she's rich.
What, you're marrying her? Okay.
She could keep me in the life.
I like
I've
that.
become
That's very
accustomed to.
practical.
I'm a very practical guy.
So that leaves Hillary Clinton that you want to make disappear forever.
No, I just... Is she rich?
I think so.
She said she was flat broke.
Wow, I hated it.
And dude, he really said, listen, I do need a lavender marriage, so maybe Hillary Clinton would be good since she is rich, right? Or, no, she's not rich though, right? That's amazing, dude.
Loafers. Now, I like this. Look at
this. No, they got to
call it. Well, his gay accent really comes out when he's had a
Gay
few.
accent.
But they got to see us fighting. We got to give them a chance to see the difference between us and liberal Democrats. In 2 weeks, we're going to have that chance. And I can't wait till John Kennedy gets on the floor and sticks it to them about the insanity of sanctuary cities.
Sticks it to him about the sanity of sanctuary.
I think that's a reach. I think that's a reach.
Can't wait till he comes up here tonight.
That's a reach.
Amazing.
Come on, England.
This is how you act drunk and gay on TV. This is true. That's true. All right, enough of this. Thank you for. Oh wait.
I hear Matt Schlapp, who is I believe the CEO of CPAC, which is the American Conservative. What is it called? The Conservative Political Action Committee. Well, listen to this.
Today's CPAC is.
Wait, why are we pausing?
Am I losing?
And Beth.
Why are we pausing? Okay, I can't. Dude, it's like watching a fucking React streamer pause 100 billion times. This is evidence, by the way. React content transforms. Gay voice lisp? Yeah, but that's like some other dude, huh? Anyways. Anyone who tells you that you shouldn't enjoy Lindsey Graham's death, show them this. Lindsey was a demon and he's in hell where he belongs. Says tweet. Wait. I keep forgetting that I don't have the full screen extension anymore. So I have to watch everything like a fucking pleb.
Gaza does not align with Christian values. Killing children, killing mothers,
Well, I'll be honest
killing
with
families
you.
who are not militants.
Yeah, I don't buy that at all.
Why?
Because what did we do in World War II? Did we think 1 minute about starving the Germans? Did we bomb every city into smithereens? So this
You
is a
compare
war. No,
October
this is,
7th to World War II.
Yes, I am. This is an absolute existential threat to the Jewish people. What happened on October the 7th was 1,200 people were slaughtered, raped, and murdered and filmed by radical Islamists who would kill every Jew if they could, to the world. If you don't understand this is a threat to Israel's
And then they
survival.
flattened Gaza.
You know the most insane thing about this? You can literally go and see the footage from October 7th where it's not every single person that's being murdered. Like, I don't, it's just so insane to me that it's like you can just rewrite history that we have footage of. And like everything has to be exaggerated. It's like, what? This is, I think, the thing that pisses me off the most about anyone who talks about Israel's genocide and talks about October 7th, it's like, why do you feel the need to exaggerate something that's already bad? Like the like beheading babies thing, it's like, what the fuck? You know, like the murder of the people that live there is bad enough. Like you don't need to add beheading babies. What the fuck? Or like whatever this is, where it's like they have the radical Islamists who would kill every Jew. It's like, oh my God. What the fuck?
Just flatten it. We flattened Berlin. We flattened Tokyo. Were we wrong to drop an atomic bomb to end the Japanese reign of terror?
Yes, 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 we were.
Were we? So my view, if I were Israel,
that was literally just a show of force at the end of the war that was already over.
I would have probably done it the same way. Without military victory, there is no hope of breaking radicalism. We flattened Germany. We flattened Japan.
How many Americans
Wait a
believe
minute.
this?
Out of that, we
the way that how many Americans think the way that you do?
I think most Republicans think the way I do.
Even young ones.
You're just out of touch if you don't understand Republicans, when it comes to radical Islam, is on Israel's side. It's not even close.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. I gotta say, you guys see this? Hold up. World War II, we refused to carpet bomb or use firebombs in Germany, but we did that in Japan because they weren't white. Well, I would argue that like that was the majority of the reason. And I would argue the rest of the reason was the fact that after we were already pretty much involved, after Pearl Harbor, it gave Americans justification to go all in. But also, I'm pretty sure that's not even true either, though. Wait. It's just that maybe the chatter is saying that the level of firebombing, maybe that's what they're saying. Because I'm pretty sure we did firebomb Germany, but the level of firebombing that occurred in Japan was unprecedented. So. America literally adopted the Nazis after World War II, yeah. $500,000 dead were because of the firebombing, yeah. Also, U.S. military doctrine's always been to target civilian infrastructure. Wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me that the U.S. is the reason why 200 school children in Iran died? No. That had to be Hamas again. No. All right. Want me close? Okay. Did you guys see this shit, man? You gotta watch Trump's interview this morning? Oh, yeah. We'll watch this right now. Watch this in one moment. Sarah, Benjamin Netanyahu, official Twitter. Sarah and I grieve with the American people over the loss of our dear friend, Senator Lindsey Graham. Well, anyone who's a friend to Netanyahu is not a friend to me. And I'm glad they're not here, bro. In the words of Donald J. Trump, good, I'm glad he's dead. No, he can no longer hurt innocent people. President Donald J. Trump. Just replace Robert Mueller there with, I'm so like brain fogged this morning. With Lindsey Graham. In our recent meeting, I said, Lindsey is a great friend of Israel and a cherished friend of mine. We have no better friend than Lindsey. Lindsey understood that the security of Israel and America are inseparable. He devoted his life to defending America, strengthening our alliance, and standing up for the free world. Israel has lost one of its greatest friends. America has lost a great patriot. I have lost a beloved friend. Our hearts are with Lindsey's family and with the American people at this difficult time. May his values and initiatives continue to guide us towards victory and peace. And may his memory forever be a blessing. Yeah, whatever, man. Yeah, well, fucking whatever, man. Never forget when Lindsey Graham dismissed hurricane victims to talk about Israel.
A second Holocaust in the making, and Biden says be proportional. What is the proportional response to people who want to kill you and your family? They're running out of ammunition in Israel. We have to help our friends to keep the war over there from coming here. The world is a must. God bless you. But look, you know, I've been going all over South Carolina like most people. I hadn't slept much. But look what's going on in Israel. Our friends in Israel surrounded by people that want to kill them, destroy them. A second Holocaust in the making. And Biden says be proportional. What is the proportional response to people who want to kill you and your family? They're running out of ammunition in Israel.
Even the Fox News host in the background saying, oh, God.
We have to help our friends to keep the war over there from coming here. The world is a must. God bless you.
That's insane. Sorry, Sean Hannity, I think was the one. Fucking get off the stage. As a Norwegian, I'm sad about losing to England, but Lindsey Graham dying is such a great consolation prize. All right. Trump just talked about it.
Overnight, the United States lost one of its most influential and consequential senators. Lindsey Graham died Saturday evening after what his office called a brief and sudden illness. He was 71 years old. Just hours earlier, Senator Graham had returned to Washington from a trip to Ukraine. He was scheduled to join us here on...
Which, by the way, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. The conspiracy theorists have already started conspiracy theoring. Yesterday, U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham visited Ukraine to assure Zelensky support of the United States. The warmonger was shown a secret drone manufacturing facility in Kiev. Well, this facility no longer exists after strikes by the Russian MOD. Without warning, 6 missiles struck 2 manufacturing facilities in the Kiev region. Confirmed strikes on drone strikes, which started a huge fire. None of Russia's ballistic missiles were shot down. Lindsey Graham is no longer in Ukraine. Okay, get your tinfoil ready. Graham inspected a drone factory in Ukraine yesterday. Russia blew up that facility today. Then tonight, it's announced that he's dead from sudden illness. No more details. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't believe this. I'm sorry. I don't believe this. But I do love whenever conspiracy theorists go off like this. It's just fun to watch. Listen, man, it's still funny as fuck, dude. I just don't think that, like, I don't think Russia would do something. I don't think, and maybe I'm totally mistaken. I don't think 2026 Russia would, more specifically Putin, would so openly kill a U.S. senator. But anything is possible. Yes, Putin would.
Meet the press this morning for what would have been
1827. Did you notice how I said 2026? Putin loves to whack people. Yeah, but Americans are a little bit different. Again, not something that's so out in the open, right? So, yeah.
His 64th appearance. He was one of the broadcast's most frequent guests. Instead, this morning, we remember a man who served South Carolina for more than 2 decades, who helped shape America's foreign policy, whose voice was a constant presence in our national debate. And
Didn't Russia help blow up a U.S. senator's plane in the 1900s? Okay, did we all just miss the part where I said in 2026? Did I not say that part out loud? In case I didn't say that out loud, in 2026, I think that would be unlikely.
Whose death has left colleagues of both parties in shock. We'll look back at his life, his public service, and his lasting impact on the Senate and the country. And to start us off and do that, joining me now on the phone is President Donald Trump for reaction to the death of his close friend. President Trump, thank you for joining us, and my condolences to you.
Well, thank you. He's a tough one to lose. He was great. He was unique in every way, actually.
Dude, he's like holding back his like anger that he just made the South Carolina Senate race more difficult for Republicans.
He was, Mr. President, and I know that we are all just absorbing this news. We are all in shock. Can you tell us, Mr. President, how you received this news and your immediate gut reaction when you heard it?
So what makes it even stranger is that I got a call last night sometime at, the early evening, maybe in the 7s, and he called and he said, we're all set for the Save America Act. He was pushing the Save America Act like crazy. He got back, said he just landed from Ukraine. I said, that's a long trip to make. He said, he sounded a little tired, but perfect, but a little bit tired. I had a right to be. And he was a worker. He was really a worker. But he sounded great, actually. But he
sounded great.
He actually said he was tired, but he wanted to pass the Save America Act. And I said,
dude, I'm sorry. It's something so funny about Republicans consistently being the only ones to say, I sure hope people don't use this guy's death for their personal gain. I hope that they don't do that for their political agendas. And then Trump, without any hesitation, without skipping a beat, saying, also, it's what he would have wanted. He would have wanted us to pass the SAVE Act. That's what he would have wanted. He also would have wanted the ballroom. I think like the last thing he said to me, the last conversation he said was like, first of all, he said, Donald Trump, you're the best and you're the greatest and you love America and Americans and you're going to help everyone in every way. And then after that, he said, you need to pass the SAVE Act. We need to. I feel pretty healthy, but if I was to have a dying wish, even though I feel really healthy right now, it would be to pass the SAVE Act and to get the ballroom, And honestly, if we could get like a giant statue built in your honor, that would be great. That would be great. Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to go to sleep and I will be waking up tomorrow, definitely. All right. Good night.
Well, we're going to get it done, Lindsey. We're going to get it done. I'll see you soon. We thought maybe we might even meet today. And then that was it. And that was, very around the time. It couldn't have been much longer. It could have been his last call. I don't know exactly, but I got a message about 1 o'clock in the morning from one of the people at his office that he had passed away. I said, I just can't believe it. He was like a member of the family to me. It's very tough, actually. It's amazing.
Mr. President.
He was such an advocate. He was, if he wanted to get something, and he had a unique ability. He was able to deal with Democrats and Republicans. If I had a problem, a real problem, I wouldn't often ask. But if I had a problem with a Democrat, he could work it out. He was a great politician, actually.
He loved his work, Mr. President. Yep. I hear you saying that in this final conversation that you have emblematic. He was tireless, but it brought him such joy, didn't it?
No, there was nobody like him.
Oh my God, dude, Trump sounds like shit. Oh my God.
Joy, didn't it?
No, there was nobody like him. He loved being a politician, and he was going to win it.
Holy shit, dude. What the fuck?
It brought him such joy, didn't it?
No, there was nobody like him. He loved being a politician, and he was going to win his election. He was going to win it big. I endorsed him very early, and he was going to win it big. He just had it made, and he just loved being a politician. I said, the reason I'm endorsing you is because I got to make sure you win, because you didn't win. I don't think you could handle life. I really don't. He was a man. You know, there are guys that can lose and they go into something else. I can't imagine him doing anything else. I said, if you weren't a U.S. Senator, I don't know if you could live very long. And look what happens. He was going to have a big...
I'm sorry, wait, what?
Go into something.
Wait, what? What did he just say? Did I mishear that?
Something in life. I really don't. He would love being a politician. I said, the reason I'm endorsing you is because I got to make sure you win, because if you didn't win, I don't think you could handle life. I really don't. He was a man. You know, there are guys that can lose and they go into something else. I can't imagine him doing anything else. I said, if you weren't a U.S. Senator, I don't know if you could live very long. And look.
Dude, the worst person to give a eulogy, the worst person to get a eulogy from has to be Trump. And I told him, if you weren't a senator, I don't think you would live very long. I think you'd die immediately. You have nothing going for you. You have no family. You have no one you love in your life. They don't like you. Nobody likes you. But, you know, I don't think you would. But that's okay, because you can be a senator for me.
What happens? He was going to have a big victory. And the people loved him. Everybody loved him. Well, no, he had some enemies. He was a tough cookie. Don't misunderstand. He was a tough cookie in many ways. If he wanted to get something, if he thought he was right and he had people against him, he could be very tough, actually. But he was a good person.
Mr. President, it is just extraordinary. You just spoke with him last night. His office says he passed away from a brief and sudden illness. Are you learning any more details about how and why he may have passed? Did he tell you anything in that phone call, Mr. President, about not feeling well?
No, he said he's a little tired. He went a long trip, you know, many hours. And he had just gotten back. And I mean, it must have been right after that, because I understand the police or whoever it is came there at about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the evening, something like that. So somebody notified him. But no, he felt okay. I mean, I actually, on the call, he told me, Kristen, he said, you know, I feel good, but I'm tired. He was fine. I knew him well. He would let you know if he wasn't feeling well. He had days where he didn't feel so well, and he'd let you know about it. But he was a fantastic person. He was a man who, you're going to watch, it's going to be a very big thing with him. He's going to be appreciated more now than he was when he was living, I think.
And just to make that...
This one photo is fucking frying me. This photo of him walking. This photo fries me every time they put it on the screen, dude.
He was a man who, you're going to watch, it's going to be a very big thing.
Wait, let me fix the subtitles a little bit. Hold up. Hold them. Wait. There we go.
With him. He's going to be appreciated more now than he was when he was living, I think.
I think it's crazy, and I think he's gonna be appreciated more now that he finally kicked the can. Now that he's not with us and speaking anymore, I think he'll be appreciated more now. I think that's.
And just to make that point, I mean, authorities were called to his home responding to initial reports of a cardiac arrest. Again, his office saying a brief and sudden illness. Do you have any more details?
I would think it would be that, because when I spoke to him, it could have been, you know, minutes before, based on, you know, based on the fact that I heard about the call, whatever time that was, so it was shortly before. But it had to be something like that, because he was, other than being tired, he was fine. And so it had to be something like that, that would just be a quick end. And maybe...
Oh my God! I couldn't say something this mean about Lindsey Graham if I tried, man. Oh my God. It had to be a quick end. That's the only thing it could have been. It had to kill him immediately. It had to be something fast, something quick, maybe painful. I don't know. Maybe it could have hurt him. Maybe it was painful. Maybe he was writhing in pain, foaming at the mouth. But it had to be quick. It had to be a quick end. It must have been a nice quick end. I know a guy. He's very smart. He goes by Light Yagami. He's got this book. He's got this funny book. And he tells me it can kill people with a heart attack immediately. You know, maybe that's what happened. You know, but he's a funny guy. I love Mr. Yagami. He's so great. He's just joking, though. He's just joking around. There's no way that's what happened. But, you know, must have been a quick end. It had to be.
That's not the worst way to go.
You know,
he had some fine moments. His moment on Brett Kavanaugh.
Dude, she's trying not to laugh right now, dude. The fucking smirk is crazy.
Is one of the classics, I think, in the history of the Senate. His moment was literally one of the great classics of anyone in the Senate when he defended Brett Kavanaugh so brilliantly. And Brett might not have made it except for that. They were treating him very unfairly. Good man. They treated
him
so unfairly, and Lindsey was so angry at the Senate because of it, and he had really an emotional moment, and I think that saved Brett Kavanaugh's Supreme Court, ascension. Lindsey did something that he was just so angry at the way Brett was being treated by the Democrats. It was so unfair. It was so unfair.
I want to ask you more about his legacy.
Lindsey got that over. Lindsey did a thing there that was, I think, nobody else could have done that.
Let me ask you a little bit more about his legacy. And I know you remember this moment, Mr. President, back in 2015, when he was one of your challengers on the campaign trail, the two of you facing off against each other. And then he very quickly became one of your staunchest allies, Mr. President. And he, frankly, never let up in that posture. Played golf together, frequently on the phone together. What do you think it is about Senator Graham that allowed him to make that transition from competitor?
Oh, he transitioned? I didn't know that about him. Oh, good for him.
To ally so quickly and so forcefully.
Well, I got to know Lindsey during the campaign. I didn't really know him then. I met him once or twice, but nothing. And I got to know him during...
Transitioned into a corpse. Guys. Just because you want to write something that would be very funny and would make a lot of people laugh and would increase the overall joy in the world. Doesn't mean you can just do that, man. You can't just do that, man.
The campaign. He was tough, but he said, I'll see you in South Carolina. He was, but when it came to South Carolina,
he died on me. He died on me. Now we're going to get a crazy Democrat. We're going to get a crazy Democrat now because he died. This sack of shit, he died on me. I don't know. Maybe they can vote for dead people in South Carolina. I'm thinking we should let them vote for dead people. He told me, Lindsey Graham told me. He told me, honestly, if the people vote for me, I think you should be able to make policies on my behalf. You should pick someone for me. Okay? The people wanted me. Well, I'm giving that power to you. Hi, little bear. Didn't he literally die on him?
in South Carolina by a lot. And I sort of ran the table on everybody, and it was good. And he appreciated it. He respected it. And we sort of got a little bit friendly, and the friendship grew. It just grew. And he was an amazing advocate.
They really don't have a single flattering photo of this man, huh?
He was, I don't know how you find anybody like him. He was so intent. I mean, he literally called me about the Save America Act. That's why that's where I heard. Think of it. He's traveling for many, many hours. That's a long flight. That's a long trip. And he, calls me about the Save America Act. He thought we were going to get it passed.
Do you remember
This is a big blow to the Save America Act. Let me tell you.
Do you remember, Mr. President, what was the last thing you said to him? What was the last thing he said to you?
I remember it very clearly. Thank you for asking me. Finally, I've been waiting for you to ask this question. I was thinking, what a waste of time. I'm on NBC News, and she still hasn't asked me this question, whatever your name is. Listen, he told me, good night, sweetie. I love you. I love you so much. Many kisses. And remember, Save America Act must be passed over my dead body. And I thought at the time that was very weird because he told me he was feeling healthy. But that's what he told me. And that's what he said.
He said, we'll see you soon. Come over anytime you want. He came into the White House a lot because I liked him.
He was coming in the White House because you liked him?
I do that with everybody. But he'd come in.
Thanks, Spirit Colin. Welcome.
A lot. And he was a great, like a gauge, a temperature.
You can't say that. And I stream on Twitter. You can't say you can't just say that to Twitch chatters. You can't just say he was a great like gauge. He was a great gauge. He was embarrassed to share it, and I told him you should be who you are. You should be your true self. And he said, no, my time passed. Pride Month is over. They will never accept me.
Gauge, but he'd come in a lot. And he was a great, like a gauge, a temperature gauge of the Senate. He was somebody that most Democrats liked.
Especially the men. The men loved him, and he loved them. Oh, my Lord, did he love them?
Didn't, but most Democrats liked. And just about all of the Republicans liked Lindsey. He got along with everybody. And yet he was a tough cookie in a lot of ways, but he had honestly, he was a great politician. People don't realize what a good politician he was. He could go in and get something approved. He would just get people on his side. He was really a talented. You probably never heard me say that about anybody because there aren't too many of them. Let me tell you. Sometimes you'll meet somebody that's been there for 25 years. You say, how did they say this? They're not. This man was a great politician. He really got it.
To that point, Mr. President, it's nearly impossible to think about replacing Senator Lindsey Graham, and yet the governor.
Because the sun is like really shining. Like, I'm not even speaking metaphorically because that guy fucking kicked the can. The sun is really shining today. 1 second. It's like actually like my eyes. I'm like, okay, I get it. It's a good day. It's a great day. It's a gauge day. Is that better? And now it's not. Now there's not enough light. I feel like that's better. There we go.
Of the great state of South Carolina is going to need to appoint someone on an interim basis. There will also be a special election called. Do you have, I know it's only hours, but is there someone you think he should appoint? Is there someone you think he will appoint?
I have somebody that I think would be great, but I don't want to say it now because it just, it's too soon with Lindsey. I don't want to even talk about anybody, but I do have.
Oh, thanks, Feedback Loop. I mean, listen, I'm going to be honest. It's hard to imagine a world where South Carolina doesn't go red. How many years in a row has South Carolina been red? Do I even want to look? Since 1976, is that accurate? Let's see. List of U.S. senators from South Carolina. Do I have like Dark Reader or something? How do I make it not? Okay, there we go. Much better.
My lawyer can't do fucking shit.
That's what I've been saying, man. That's what I've been saying. How do you pronounce this username? Idna? Is that right? Thank you for the 10 gift subs. What the? Thank you. Hold up. Wait. Let's go to modern day. Thank you. Okay. Okay, yeah. So it's been it's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute. So at least for the past 20 years, it's been nothing but Republicans. So I find it pretty hard to believe. Also, man, I gotta say, it's so depressing to look at like senators because it's crazy that like so much of their time is spent campaigning for the next election and then they can serve infinitely. It's like this has to be like the worst of both worlds. They're in forever, but because the Senate periods are so short, they spend all of that time fucking campaigning. That's insane. I'll try and like find some maps and stuff of like the previous election cycle. I'm pretty sure the guy before Lindsey was a fucking Klans member, by the way.
Denims' feet.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, did I say 2? I meant 6. I apologize. It's like, I mean, just think about like, you know what's even more insane? If you look at other countries have unbelievably short election cycles, and ours are like minimum for any seat that's longer than 2 years, it's a 2-year period of time of campaigning. And then obviously every senator's like, well, the first year, it's really hard to do anything. Sorry. I'm just doing my best over here. And then there's like 3 years of question mark and then 2 years of campaigning. It's like, oh, okay. That's good. That's good. That's good.
Somebody that I think is really good. The governor is a good friend of mine. I've endorsed him. You know, I endorsed him early on, and he endorsed me right from the beginning as a person that never did this before. In 2016, he came out and very strongly endorsed me, and then I made up for it. I removed somebody from office that I didn't think was so good, moved her over to the United Nations. 95% of my doing that, because the United Nations job was not exactly tough. It could be very important, but you know, she was okay at it. But I did it because Henry McMaster was the lieutenant.
He's talking about Nikki Haley. And I did that in great part because that job is not very hard. That job is so easy to do. I just gave it to her because I figured, and she did okay. She was okay. It was an easy job, and she only did okay. But
the governor, and by moving her, I got myself a great, really a great guy. Henry McMaster has been a really good governor, really good guy, and you know that position cleared out. And Henry's been a great governor. You know, now he's termed out, but he's going to do the right thing. I think Henry will be fantastic. Remember, he endorsed me out of nowhere. He said, "I like that guy the best," and he campaigned for me with his wife, with Peg. Yeah. He campaigned for me. I'd say, "Who is that man that's campaigning all the time?" I hardly knew him. They said, "That's the lieutenant governor." So they have a great governor, and he's going to make a good decision. But ultimately, it's going to be an election pretty soon. As I understand the rules, every state is different. But ultimately, they'll have an election. They'll have some people
Denims,
join.
do you believe that things happen in threes? Let's say I want to believe. Let's say that. I'll say that much. Okay? All right? That's what I will say. I'm looking forward to the media scorning people for their reaction to Lindsey Graham's death. Everyone's excited and commenting on all the media's posts about how exciting this is. I mean, like, first of all, first of all, Americans overwhelmingly, especially young people, don't like the Israel first Congress people. They don't like they literally, it's so crazy because even on, I'll make like new, so previously on Instagram, all I was doing was just images, and I was like, oh, like I'll start posting like memes and stuff and start posting like short form videos. So I was like, okay, well, best way to like figure out how to do something is to watch what already does pretty well and then go from there and learn from like that. So I'm like sitting there and I'm watching stuff, and the number of like, and I have never watched Reels before on my account. Like I've never even liked posts. Like I've never even used Instagram before ever. And I'm like looking, and it's like, there are so many people who hate Israel. The number of Reels, I was like, dude, I can't like these. I can't. Like, I can't. Like, I have to be like, skip. And it's like, are you interested? I'm like, not interested. No, stop. I can't have my feed be this. And there's so much content on TikTok less so now, but also Instagram Reels and just like short form content in general of like, people don't want to go and fucking die for Israel, man. They just don't want to do that. People don't want to join another forever war to go die for a fucking country that gives its citizens health care on our fucking dollar. Meanwhile, insulin is $5 billion in the United States. Like, nobody wants that. So when people ask someone like Ted Cruz, Israel first or America first, and Ted Cruz says Israel first, I can't imagine people enjoy that very much, you know? So I think they'll be hard pressed to find people who even like Lindsey Graham, honestly.
Some are good, some are bad. And, but I have somebody that I like, but I'm not going to tell you who now because it's too soon.
All right, fair enough. We will
I never
track
thought I'd
it.
be in this position.
Yeah.
I said, I thought Lindsey was going to be living forever. I
mean, I'm not going to lie. Again, I'm always hopium pill chat. I think I would have to, I didn't even bother looking into like the South Carolina seat at all. Because I was like, I mean, Lindsey Graham's just going to fucking win again. So what's the fucking point? Like it's a waste of my fucking time. And now I'm like, well, I didn't predict this guy fucking dropping dead. All right, sorry, my bad. Denims failed this time. So I'll do some more research and see like the polling and the historical data and stuff and how much people know. I think, what is it currently? Annie Andrews is the Democrat choice. I don't think it's impossible that she wins, honestly, considering the timing. Because even if like they have, I don't know if it would be considered a runoff right now. Even if they tried to push as hard as they could for a new Republican candidate that isn't Lindsey Graham, because last I checked, let me pull it up. She won by 61% for the Democratic primary. And he won the Republican primary by 56%, but it was like a 20-point lead. Hers was a 30-point lead. Name recognition alone, it's not impossible. Serious question number one, would you ever run for any public office? No. Fuck no, dude. I'm the internet funny lady, okay? I just want to talk about things, and I just happen to like talking about politics. Okay? Yeah, I think it'd be cool to like impact change impact the world in a positive way in some way, you know, drop some hopium, but if you want someone to run for Congress, you should be like, you should be asking Congress for that, all right? Congress fans rise up. That's what you should be looking for. Not me, dude. I belong on the computer where I can play my video games, man. Funny, I'm here for internet cringe lady. Oh, fuck. Also, it would literally be nepotism because of Mayor Cat. That's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, so there's going to be, not runoff, sorry, I don't know why I said runoff. Special election August 11th, it looks like. Let me pull this up.
And then he ran for president in 2016 and said very negative things about Donald Trump at the time, but then would become one of President Trump's greatest allies. Just this week, posting on social media that he was the GOAT of all presidents and has been a steering force more recently of President Trump's military intervention in Iran. You know, there are 100 senators. Not all of them stand out. Lindsey Graham is somebody who has stood out for a long time and has been one of the most important members of that body for many, many years.
And he just turned 71. June 9th, he won the South Carolina Republican primary, seeking re-election for Senate. Nobody expected that he wasn't going to continue traveling, wasn't going to continue pushing the causes that are important to him. Although, as you mentioned, those priorities and those causes have certainly
pushing the causes that were important to him. Claimed to be pro-life. Something's not adding up.
Changed over time. Some have sort of wondered, what is Senator Lindsey Graham's center? Do you think we ever really...
Dude, I'm so happy that people are just now finding out. Wait, he died? Holy fuck. Riposo. Yeah, I mean, this is really the best way to find out. This right here.
Forget it. I'm not with you. I'm with Israel. I will be with Israel to our dying day. They're the best ally we could hope for. So we have a commander-in-chief in President Trump, who I think is Ronald Reagan plus, plus, plus. Forget it. I'm not with you.
Well, no, he's not with us anymore. That's true, actually. That's factually correct. By the way, this is the type of shit. This is the reason. Link, please. Oh, sorry. I have to say, out of all of the people who have died, all of the politicians and public figures that have died in the past, like, I don't know, 3 years of streaming, I feel like that's when Packwatch and Crab Reef started really taking off. Maybe I'm mistaken. So far, there have been, like, no Lindsey Graham defenders. Which is very shocking. It doesn't matter who dies. Like, Rush Limbaugh had people fucking simping for him. And I gotta say, I haven't seen a single person come in chat to be like, excuse you, he was still a person. So I'm like, oh, really? No one? No one's gonna defend him? I will say Lindsey Graham being asked by a reporter how Mitch McConnell is doing, answering, I don't know, I'm going to go check right now, and then dying is hilarious.
Check right now with my office and
Okay.
hoping and praying he's doing well, but I'm going to check just right now.
Is there a contingency plan if for some reason
I have
his
no-
O'Connell, how
He had to be able to check. Well, yeah, he had to die and then go to hell to see him. To be like, let me go check up on him 1 second. Wait, how do I get out of here? Fuck. I want to show you guys this. Wait. This one's just for you guys, man. Lindsey Graham and Charlie Kirk in hell fighting over being Reagan's bottom. Anyways, this is a good reason why, or sorry, this is a good example for anyone who is still somehow lost on why people don't like Lindsey Graham.
The bottom line is, we talked about a drug caliphate in our backyard. You know, we had Venezuela, we have Cuba, we have Colombia in our backyard. And these three countries have been condemned ever since I've been in politics. Joe Biden put a $25 million bounty on Maduro's head. Chris Smith, the day he got inaugurated, said, I hope Trump will hold Maduro's feet to the fire pit. So what has he done? He's gonna...
Why is Nutlick just there? I don't know, man. He's just anywhere that shitty people are. Anywhere that, like, the demons congregate, he's like, oh, I belong here.
Clear our backyard of a drug caliphate. Countries run by narco-terrorist dictators who murder, rape, send drugs into our country to kill thousands of our citizens. To my Democratic friends, you should be celebrating this. When bin Laden went down, I was the first to applaud President Obama. This was one of the most sophisticated military operations in the history of the country. What they were able to do was amazing. They knew we were coming. We had a good part of the Navy, and they were able to capture this man alive. No military in the world could have done it. And as to this commander-in-chief, he did something people talked about doing. You just wait for Cuba. Cuba is a communist dictatorship that's killed priests and nuns. They preyed on their own people. Their days...
Ah? They've killed priests and nuns? What?
Numbered. Cuba is a communist dictatorship that's killed priests and nuns. They preyed on their own people.
Oh, thankfully the United States has never preyed on its own people. Phew.
Days are numbered. We're gonna wake up one day, I hope in 26, in our backyard.
Well, some of us will wake up. All right. And others won't. Okay.
We're going to have allies in these countries doing business with America, not narco-terrorist dictators killing Americans. This is a big frigging day. And everybody in the world is thinking differently than they were.
I know I've said this a million times before, but it does piss me off so bad when, like, the most evil people that you know, the most evil people that exist are the, like, Christo-fascists in the United States that are like, we need to kill all of them. Their days are numbered. Enough is enough. But then they won't say the word fuck. And if you, like, curse, they're like, excuse you, language. Do not use the Lord's name in vain. It's like, oh, okay, you're down with, like, murdering hundreds of people, thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people. And not caring at all because you can just label all of them as terrorists. But, like, God forbid somebody uses the word fuck. Then it's over. Then it's so over. R.I.P. Lindsey Graham. He would have loved GTA 6. Tough. Tough. We got Lindsey Graham dying before GTA 6.
Really knew that?
I mean, I think one thing that you've seen over the years was that he clearly felt that an activist foreign policy and being a champion of the military and more military intervention is something that he's been talking about for decades, especially the Iran issue. And we've seen what's happened with that in the last few months as well. But that has been sort of the criticism.
Everyone was betting on fucking... Everyone betting on Kalshi was betting on Mitch McConnell. No one was betting on fucking... Some guy, some fucking idiot just made an obscene amount of money on this guy's death.
of Lindsey Graham over the years, what you're talking about. But what he's also been very, very adept at as a political practitioner was getting himself in a position of power and influence and kind of knowing where the winds were blowing within the Republican Party and heading there. And in the process, giving himself an ability to survive politically, to win election after election, and to increase his seniority in the Senate, and to have more power for the people of South Carolina. I mean, this will certainly, South Carolina is a solidly Republican seat. It's hard to imagine, a flipping of South Carolina, North Carolina in a bit of a different place. But it's a bit early to start talking about the political realities of what happens next, as we all, I think, are just in shock at the idea that Lindsey Graham has suddenly died, and also reflecting on a life of decades of public service.
And
is it really public service if he's never served the public? I would call it private service, maybe.
he was just in Ukraine. He was just meeting with the Ukrainian president. What did he accomplish on that trip? And assuming from what we saw in all of the videos, the statements that he was making, he appeared to be in very good health, just in usual form. There was certainly no outward indication that there was anything physically wrong. His office saying this was a very brief, sudden and brief illness, they said in their statement.
And we don't know what that means, because he was posting about President Trump's trip to NATO and conversations that he was having with folks about that like 2 days ago. So how brief was this illness? We don't know what exactly that means. Is that a heart attack? You know, at this point, I think a lot of it would be speculation to try to think about that. Yeah, I mean, Lindsey Graham, by every indication, was working up until the very last day and certainly putting out a public image that there were no issues at all. And he was very much involved in the job as a senator from South Carolina, especially on the job of the foreign relations of the United States.
And a very strong ally of President Trump, who also really knew how to turn on the Southern charm. So even when he was talking about some of these contentious and controversial issues, there was something very charming about Lindsey Graham. He was a likable guy. From people that have met him, people that have interviewed him, they found him to be a very unique character, a unique personality in Washington.
Who? Literally who?
Yeah, and he I think really liked the media and had a long-standing relationship with many folks in it. I remember interviewing him myself back in 2016 when he was running for president, and it was stunning.
Thanks, Hassan's big glasses.
How anti-Trump his language was, warning about what would happen if
he died of heartbreak. He had nothing to live for after Pride.
Donald Trump became president. And then, of course, after he became president, he became one of his closest allies. They would often golf together, President Trump and Lindsey Graham, and joke around on the golf course. I mean, for anybody that's met Donald Trump, he too is a very charming guy. And the two of them would go back and forth in terms of jokes with each other. And I think both of them, as people who sort of appreciate politics, were able to get over all those insults that they went back and forth on, and have a very productive working relationship for each other. Lindsey Graham was somebody who helped to deliver for President Trump in a lot of ways in the Senate. And President Trump was very helpful for Lindsey Graham's career. As we've seen, I mean, he, as you mentioned, he won the South Carolina primary because there wasn't a real challenger. President Trump as we've seen in the last few months, can endorse challengers to Republican primary opponents in the Senate, and essentially end the careers of Republican senators in the process. He did that with John Cornyn in Texas. He did that with Bill Cassidy in Louisiana. He's been a supporter of Lindsey Graham. So they were able to move past their past problems and develop a very strong working relationship. And I think Lindsey Graham is one of the senators from all the reporting that President Trump was actually in touch with most in the United States Senate, as somebody who would work with him on formulating strategy on how to get things done.
Formulating the strategy of how to get things done, for Israel.
And President Trump certainly
Don't say get tested, Trump. Shut up.
He loves a turnaround story, somebody who is at one point a very contentious critic and that they're trading barbs back and forth. If that person then turns around and starts to praise President Trump, as Senator Lindsey Graham often did, and praised him very effusively in public, and often President Trump values that relationship, and he takes care of those people.
And yet he let him die. Interesting.
The South Carolina Republican passed.
Interesting. Okay, I know this is just torture at this point. Let's watch. Oh, God. It's like they found the most evil people to talk about him. Look at this fucking image. Oh, my God. This image of Mitch McConnell. Lied to, deceived, betrayed.
This week, there are growing questions over what exactly.
Oh my God, I have too many tabs open. Hold up. Wait, we never finished the Trump interview. I'm so sorry. Do you think if I open it in a new tab, it'll pull up the thumbnail? Yeah. How does he look like that, man? Fuck! All right, let's finish the Trump interview.
I said, Lindsey, you're going to live forever. And he was going to have a big victory. He was scheduled to win by a lot. He had my support, and he was going to win by a lot. He was going to have one of his best elections ever, and now he's got this. Terrible.
Well, I had.
He's got this terrible. Wait, what?
Big victory. He was scheduled to win by a lot. He had my support, and he was going to win by a lot. He was going to have one of his best elections ever, and now he's got this. Terrible.
Well, I had the great honor of being able to talk to him a couple of times this week, Mr. President, and as you can imagine, we talked about a lot of foreign policy. We talked about a lot of Iran. And in honor of him, I want to still have some of those conversations. Those were the conversations he wanted to have here this morning, Mr. President. You obviously launched a fresh round of strikes overnight. Iran said overnight the Strait of Hormuz is closed. CENTCOM came out this morning and said the Strait of Hormuz is open. Which is it, Mr. President?
It's
and
open,
how are you going to respond?
And I don't want to talk about it because I want to honor.
I don't want to talk about it, but just know that it's open. It's open, and I don't want to talk about it, but it's open. And anyone who says otherwise is lying. I just want you to know, Mr. Lindsey Graham, he would not have liked this. He would have. A man is dead, and you want to immediately use this for your political gain. Incredible. See, this is why people don't like the fake news. Everyone knows the only thing he wanted was for the Save America Act to pass and for the ballrooms to be built. Not this. No one cares. No one cares about the Strait of Hormuz. And, honestly, I would tell you that in all the time I knew Lindsey Graham, he didn't want to talk about the Strait of Hormuz. He said it disgusted him. He said it wasn't natural. He said he didn't understand.
The life of Lindsey Graham, so I don't want to talk about it. I told you that before the call.
Yeah.
It's open. We bombed the hell out of them last night. They're very, very evil and sick people. We had meetings with them for the last. They agreed to a deal yesterday, a perfect deal for us. No nuclear, no this, no that, no nothing. They gave up everything. And then after that, they left the room. And then within an hour, they launched a drone at a ship. I said, you people are sick. You're sick people. And so it's one of those things. I don't want to talk about it.
Finally, before I let you go.
I want to talk about one person today, Lindsey Graham.
As we should, Mr. President. Just finally, before I let you go, what is the legacy of Senator Lindsey Graham, Mr. President?
He's got so many legacies, but one of the legacies is a Supreme Court justice who's excellent named Brett Kavanaugh. That's one of the legacies. That's a big legacy because Brett was being treated very unfairly. I don't think he could have gotten through without Lindsey's classic. I mean, if you go back into the top 10, I think it would be a top 10, a top 5 in the history of the Senate. The emotion, the anger, the love, the whole thing, everything was in that. It was. I called him up. I said, that's one of the great classics of all time.
What? Can I hear this again?
For us, no nuclear, no this, no that, no nothing. They gave up everything. And then after that, they left the room. And then within an hour, they launched a drone at a ship. I said, you people are sick. You're sick people. And so it's one of those things. I don't want to talk about it.
Finally, before I let you go.
I want to talk about one person today, Lindsey Graham.
As we should, Mr. President. Just finally, before I let you go, what is the legacy of Senator Lindsey Graham, Mr. President?
He's got so many legacies, but one of the legacies is a Supreme Court justice who's excellent named Brett Kavanaugh. That's one of the legacies. That's a big legacy because Brett was...
Imagine your best legacy, according to the president, is supporting like a guy that was accused by multiple women of sexual misconduct, assault, and I don't want to say rape because I don't remember the details. It's been so long and it's so depressing that Brett Kavanaugh is sitting in a lifetime appointment. There might have been someone, let me see, Brett Kavanaugh. Let me just double check. Okay, I think technically the only thing that they accused him of was sexual assault. And they said that he was there at like events where rape occurred, but he had only engaged in sexual assault. I could be mistaken if there's if someone has other reporting. This is just like a random news. After this I wiped it from my memory because I was so fucking depressed. Only. Okay.
Being treated very unfairly. I don't think he could have gotten through without Lindsey's classic. I mean, if you go back into the top 10, I think it would be a top 10, a top 5 in the history of the Senate. The emotion, the anger, the love, the whole thing, everything was in that. It was. I called him up. I said, that's one of the great classics of all time. He was a great politician. He really was. He got along with a lot of people that you wouldn't think of. He was somebody that loved our country, and he fought very hard for the country. And I know he was going to do your show today. He told me, I'm doing Meet the Press. Can you believe it? He said, here I am doing Meet the Press for him. But he told me last night he's doing Meet the Press. So,
Dude, what a crazy way to talk about someone. And, last night he told me he was going to do Meet the Press, but I guess, can you believe it? Can you believe it? It didn't work out for him. But I'll do it for him, I never give a job to someone incompetent. I guess I have to do it now. Unbelievable. But can you believe it? I can't believe it. Unbelievable.
Said, just relax and take it easy, Lindsey. You just got
his idea of a compliment is remembering things people have done for him. Yes.
Back from a long trip. But I thought he was just going to live forever, and it didn't work out that way.
Mr. President, our deepest condolences to you. I know that you have lost a friend as well as one of your closest allies. And we
The least
deeply
convincing,
appreciate
sure.
you joining us today and
Sure.
giving us your reflections on Senator Lindsey
Sure,
Graham,
why not?
who
It was a great
the nation's
practice. You know
capital
what?
and the
Sure.
country mourning today. Mr. President, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Kristen.
I didn't really like that he was saying bad things about me at one point, but you know, sure, he died loving me, so you take what we can get. You take what you can get. I can't believe I'm still in awe. Like, you could have asked me, like, I would have put down my life saving that Mitch McConnell will be pronounced dead before Lindsey Graham. If you asked me like a couple days ago, and I would have been so fucking wrong. Holy shit. If you told me, like, which senator do you think is going to die next? Lindsey Graham was not. All right. This is just torture at this point, but we're watching Cory Booker talk about Lindsey Graham now. Because, fuck you guys.
Away last night following a, quote, brief and sudden illness, according to a statement from his office. He was 71 years old. Former President Joe Biden, who served with Graham in Congress for more than a decade, just posted on X saying, in part, quote, we traveled the world together as members of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. We disagreed often and sometimes loudly. Lindsey and I did agree on the profound importance of public service. Like me, he...
Okay, Joe Biden is not writing this shit. Let's just be real for one moment. Come on.
Loved the Senate as an institution, even with all its flaws and complexities. Lindsey Graham was first elected to the Senate in 2002 after serving 4 terms in the House of Representatives since 1994. He quickly rose as one of the Republican Party's most influential members, serving as chairman of the powerful Senate Budget Committee and a member of the Judiciary, Appropriations, and Environment and Public Works Committees. Graham made a name for himself with his work on foreign policy, known for his hawkish and interventionist approach. He was a strong voice on Iraq and Iran and Russia's war in Ukraine. He frequently traveled to conflict zones, and he had actually just gotten back from a trip to Kyiv where he met with President Volodymyr Zelensky on Friday. Graham transitioned from an early critic of Donald Trump to a key advisor. He broke with the president, though, briefly after the January 6th insurrection. Then they rebuilt their alliance. He became a trusted ally. They were frequent golf partners, and definitely a public defender of Donald Trump. Here's the president on Meet the Press this morning.
But he was a fantastic person. He was a man who you're going to watch. It's going to be a very big thing.
Oh, you Gopnik, thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. Hi. Welcome, Raiders. It's a great day for all of us, guys. It's a great day. I think we can all agree. Sometimes being a leftist is just depressing. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes you just get a great day with great news.
With him. He's going to be appreciated more now than he was when he was living.
Graham was seeking re-election for his 5th Senate term. South Carolina law mandates that Governor Henry McMaster make
They cut out the part where he said, I think, man. Come on.
an immediate appointment for the remainder of Graham's term, which expires in January. Joining me now is Democratic Senator from New Jersey, Cory Booker. He worked alongside Senator Graham on the Senate Judiciary Committee for many years. Senator, good morning. Thank you for being here.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
I watched you on Instagram this morning. You said that Lindsey Graham had the ability to get things done.
Can I just be honest with all of you for a brief moment? Personally, I think the most Chad thing to do is to just, as a politician, as a Democrat, to not even talk about him.
And that others could not.
Who gives a shit, man?
What some might see as sort of a strange bedfellows relationship working together.
Or, you know, it'd be funny seeing a tweet from Mamdani being like, sorry, I have actual politics to take care of in my state, so I don't have time to waste on random old fucks dying.
Your time in office.
Yeah, look, I came to the Senate with models like Orrin Hatch and Teddy Kennedy, strange bedfellows who got big things done, and I opened the door right away to work with Lindsey Graham on things I thought we could align with, like my mission.
Like having a lavender marriage.
To end mass incarceration in our country, and found within him an unlikely partner that helped me land some of the biggest
deals with Israel.
Wins I've had in the Senate from foreign relations, because we were on the Foreign Relations Committee when it comes to things like aid to Africa and African countries.
And by aid, I mean bombs to Middle Eastern countries and North African countries.
way to finally getting the First Step Act passed. He's a puzzle to me. I mean, I played football in the Pac-10 and have banged my...
He's such a puzzle to me. Like, I'm always trying to put my pieces and fit them into his. You know what I mean? Some puzzles pieces, they just click together. And that was what we were. And then I banged him.
My head and helmet with a lot of people, but I don't think I headbutted anybody as hard as he and I when we disagreed, fought ferociously. But he was the kind of guy...
We were constantly fighting ferociously with our heads.
That when the spotlight was off, he's like, hey, Corey, can we talk? And
he was always there for me when it came to aftercare. When we turned the lights off and we were done, he was always there.
Try to figure out, is there a way to make a deal? Is there a way to get something done amidst all the disagreement? And in that sense, he is somebody that I'm really going to miss in terms of my ability to find battleground with him and fight over the things that mattered, but also still find that common ground.
Love.
Yeah, talk more
Sorry,
about...
I was giving a translation. I was reading his inner thoughts and displaying them for everyone because I know what he's really thinking. So, yeah.
That because I remember, this just brings to mind for me in particular the confirmation hearing of Ketanji Brown Jackson for the Supreme Court and how vitriolic and I mean the heated nature of the dialogue between the two of you and others in those hearings. It's hard.
Also, can I just say I'm so sick and tired of Democrats being like, I'm so glad that there are Republicans that fight us on everything. I'm going to miss having that, you know? Like, I really enjoyed that, man. I really enjoyed having someone that just makes everything more difficult for literally no reason. You know, it's good to have Republicans that are constantly making this country worse and fighting us on, you know, whether or not people should have health care, whether or not children should be able to eat food at school, you know? So I'm glad that we have that. I'm glad that we had that. I'm glad I had that and got to share those intimate moments with him, you know? And I just like don't know who's going to replace him.
I forget. What was it like after those hearings ended?
Yeah, I mean, from Kavanaugh to Ketanji Brown Jackson, some of my worst public fights I've had with any senator were with him. But yet, you know, you see him in the hallway the next day and he would smile and come up to me on a different subject entirely and pull me in to say, hey, let's get...
He was pulling you in? Bruh, okay, like... We don't need to know that much, man. Okay? Don't do it grip chat. What the fuck?
This done. It was almost like he was sending me a message from the time I got there that we are going to fight like hell.
I don't know why I really thought he was going to say we were going to fuck like hell. What the fuck is wrong with me? Oh, it's so over, man.
Sending me a message from the time I got there that we are going to fight like hell, you and I. You're a high-profile guy that's going to fight for what you believe in. I'm going to fight for what I believe in, but we're going to throw a lot of punches at each other.
And most importantly, love wins.
But we should never stop having the door open for us to do something good while we're here. I remember a time I was actually frustrated with the Biden administration. I was talking to Chris Coons about this morning, that he and I couldn't believe the small amount of money for a lot of our global feeding programs, like the World Food Program. Lindsey's on appropriations, so Chris and I went to him and said, this is too low of a number. Can you figure out a way to help us get a lot more into the budget, get it passed? And to his credit, the three of us went to work and got billions more. I mean,
sorry, a translation. We saw viewership going down, so we started throwing it back. We saw funding go down, so we started throwing it back.
Literally, I can only imagine that there are tens of thousands of people that survived as a result of that. So it's hard often to hold these things both in your mind, that he had foreign policy positions that I found horrific, but at the same time, by keeping those lines of communication, those doors open, and forging a friendship despite it all, allowed us to find those moments where, God, we really made a difference.
This morning, Senator Booker, President Trump said that Graham's passing was a, quote, big blow to the Save America Act.
I'm not. No more gay sex jokes, okay? Stop.
Which is his voter suppression
that
bill,
big
for lack of a better
blow.
way to put it. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I
miss
have a lot
blowing
of
him so much, and
anger
it was
towards
just
this
really
president,
sad that
and,
he's not here anymore.
I know a lot of private conversations with Lindsey Graham around what he
Blowing.
talked to the president about, and so
Sorry. Okay, that was the last one. That was the last one. I'm done. I got it out of my system.
you know, the president can try to profit off of his passing in any way that he wants. But I know the last bill that he was talking to the president about, which was about Ukraine
Bill
and
Clinton
sanctioning Russia.
Blah.
I hope we can get that actually done. I know that Lindsey Graham, despite my disappointments with him and his complicity towards the president, I know he was often the guy trying to stop the president from his worst inclinations. So I hope this president doesn't now try to exploit his death in pursuit of his own personal political.
Like, okay, sorry. Let's get back to being serious for a brief moment. I don't know if you guys mind if the political if the political streamer does some political streaming, but really fast. Do you guys see this shit? You guys seeing this shit, man? It just makes me really sad when the president does evil things, and it's just like messed up, yo. Like, it's not cool to do that. You know, like, it's giving, like, drugs are uncool, stay in school. That's it. Those are the scathing words you have for the president that's throwing us into an Iran war that will never fucking end. Are you serious right now?
So I know he was often the guy trying to stop the president from his worst inclinations. So I hope.
Yeah, Lindsey Graham was definitely the one stopping Trump from his worst inclinations.
Hope this president doesn't now try to exploit his death in pursuit of his own.
I really hope President Trump doesn't exploit his death. That would make me so sad. He literally already did it. Like, what are you like? God, Democrats are so fucking cucked, man.
Personal political aims, but instead honor Lindsey Graham by finding those areas in which.
Oh, we're honoring him, all right. No. I'll have you know, we are definitely, most certainly, honoring him. You know what I mean?
He was a point of unity or a point of common ground, and get those things done.
Well, allow me just to follow up on that. Are you saying that Senator Graham, and I don't expect you to tell me your private conversations, but even in South Carolina, he was first supportive of redistricting that might have cut out Jim Clyburn, but then sort of backed off of that. Are you saying that he wasn't a supporter of the Safe America Act?
I don't know about that specifically. I know he knew the facts. If there's anybody that was a political realist, it was him. He knew that bill has no chance in hell of passing the United States Senate. And I will tell you that I know his South Carolina politics. Hell, when he had a race against one of my dear friends, Jamie Harrison, I have never worked so hard to unseat one of my colleagues as I did in supporting Jamie in that race. But I also know that a lot of the people he was running against, and he would tell me very frankly that they, to use his language, they were bat blank crazy. And if I was going to have a Republican out of South Carolina, I would rather have somebody that occasionally we could find common ground and get things done. So Lindsey was a pragmatist. He often showed a crazy side to the world, but then he'd come back to a private conversation and try as hard as hell to make a deal with Democrats.
His sudden death, Senator Graham's sudden death, brings to mind the situation with Senator Mitch McConnell and his health, and also his whereabouts, which are just, frankly, a big question mark right now. Do you know anything about where Mitch McConnell is, and do you think Mitch McConnell should step aside?
Do you, do you think Mitch McConnell should step aside? Bro can't stand, let alone step. Where would he be stepping to? It's a fucking corpse, man. What are we doing?
I know nothing about where Mitch McConnell is. This is unfortunately just an issue of politics.
Every politician just fucking lying to us, man. All right. I have no idea where Mitch McConnell is. Like,
I know nothing about where Mitch McConnell is. This is unfortunately just an issue of politics in general. People don't know when to gracefully step aside. I've seen people make that mistake on both sides of the aisle. I've been advised by people who left here, as one senator once told me, leave while you still have a third act. Don't let them carry you off the floor. So again, my thoughts and prayers are really with Mitch McConnell. We'll talk about a guy that I've fought with.
maybe I'm misremembering. Admittedly, I could be misremembering. But didn't all of the establishment Dems get really mad when people who vote Democrats say Ruth Bader Ginsburg should have stepped aside? She should have stepped down. I don't know. I don't have like a vivid memory of specifically Cory Booker saying that that was disrespectful to Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but I'm fairly sure I remember Pelosi and Cory Booker and all the establishment Dems, they're all in the same camp there. Yeah, same thing with the Feinstein. It's like, but like Ruth Bader Ginsburg was particularly offensive because they painted out anyone who was, this is the same thing that happened with Kamala as well, where people said, hey, Biden should not run again. He's way too old. Like, not only is he old, he sounds old, man. He's like not there anymore. Because like, I don't know if you guys have heard Bernie speak. Bernie, surprisingly, for being 80, is still very like sharp. Like he can still hold conversations just fine. Obviously, he was more capable when he wasn't 80. But like Biden is not there. Biden is like, anyway, listen, Jack. I can't get over that one press conference where he like walked out of the room with his hands like this, like a crypt keeper. He like walked to the door like this. I was like, this guy's too old. And lo and behold, people said, hey, you guys shouldn't run him again. We should have an actual primary. We shouldn't run him again. We should have a primary because he's not going to win. It's not a winning candidate. And establishment Democrats all rolled their eyes until the last second and then just threw Kamala in for God knows what fucking reason. And the same thing happened with Ruth Bader Ginsburg, where people are like, hey, she really should step down. Listen, we appreciate all of the work that she has done. No one here like hates Ruth Bader Ginsburg with the same, well, at least not the same passion that I think all of us agree we hate, like Clarence Thomas or Kavanaugh or Amy Coney Barrett. But like you can have your criticisms. We generally like her, but like she needs to step down. She's way too fucking old. And they literally looked at us like we were fucking stupid for considering for a brief moment that maybe, I don't know, having like an ancient person is not a great idea. Denims fabricating history, huh? What are you talking about?
I just hope moments of like this don't obscure people to our ability to pray for one another, even if we dramatically disagree.
I didn't cry brave when Ruth died. I mean, like, because like I don't. A lot of very good progressive rulings came from Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I don't feel strongly about it. It's just not the same. I would much rather have like some semblance of like sanity instead of like, oh, here's the guy who's pro taking bribes for anything. Anything at all. Here's this guy who's been accused of sexual assault.
But in terms of your practical question right now, there's a lot of people that I think need to know when to go. So we'll see what.
This is good sarcasm, right? Look at that. Chat. This chatter's being this. Stop! You can't, dude. They're gonna get your ass for good bait, man. All right. Oh, sorry. I gotta get this shit off the screen really fast. Dude, they're gonna get your ass for having bait that was too good. Chatter came in, said, I don't care if you ban me. You leftists are disgusting celebrating the death of a U.S. senator where you could wait a few hours for a second senator death confirmation and celebrate even harder. For a brief moment, I also only read the first half. And I was like, and then I scrolled up and saw counting or not counting women's autonomy. And I was like, all right. I don't even need to read the rest of the message. That's great bait. That's great bait. They had me in the first half. I'm sorry if you were persecuted by your peers in this chat room because they didn't want to read the rest of the message. I'm sorry.
What happens in this case?
Dude, I love having this giant Donald Trump screenshot on the screen. I think it has single-handedly deterred the losers from coming in and being like, it's not funny to make fun of people dying. Because it's like, really? All right. It's even bigger than your camera. It's so big and it is not bothering me. Okay.
This week, there are growing questions over what exactly is happening with Senator Mitch McConnell. His office has provided very little information since he was hospitalized.
Guys, I'm afraid that we're not going to get to anything else today other than this, but I'm having too much fun. So I planned out a bunch of fun variety content. And I did see this that was really funny.
Here's what the most effed up.
This Candace Owens video, how a blue dress crumpled the Daily Wire. And it's about Brett Cooper leaving the Daily Wire. And I'm like, dude, how can I resist? But also, this is just too enjoyable, man.
On June 14th after an unspecified medical incident. The most recent statement released last week merely said that he appreciates the outpouring of support he's received.
Did you see the CNN guy Dream talking to Mitch McConnell?
As he recovers and that he's working with staff while Congress is in recess. Meanwhile, lawmakers are preparing to return to Capitol Hill on Monday, and they have until the end of September to pass a bill to fund the government. Yes, it's pretty important. And of course, McConnell is not just an ordinary senator. The former leader is a member of the powerful Appropriations Committee, where Democrats and Republicans are currently locked in a stalemate over defense funding. Also not a small thing. MS Now's Alex Tabbitt has been speaking with McConnell's constituents in Frankfort, Kentucky, and Michael Schnell is our congressional reporter on Capitol Hill, and Philip Bump's still with us. Michael, we've heard some growing rumblings that Republican lawmakers themselves are having some questions over Mitch McConnell, what's going on with him. How concerned are they, and how does this impact business as usual on Capitol Hill?
Yeah, Ariel, we've reached the point where McConnell's absence is not just a concern among Democrats, but Republicans are itching for more information as well. Mitch McConnell first admitted...
No, really? Wait, sorry. You will not believe the music they used for this announcement, LMAO. Okay, stop posting misinformation on the timeline.
Yeah.
Little Bear, you just put me on like 17 different watch lists. Not that I wasn't already on them, but you just got my name put on them again. All right, man, it's not okay. It's not cool. You can't just post stuff like that, man. I'm definitely not liking it because I'm liking it. I'm liking it to save it for later so I can pull it up in public and just shake my head the entire time so people know. Okay? All right? Guys, if you like when I personally write people's name in the death note, and when I personally get people heart attacked, that obviously this is all my fault. I just feel like everyone's always blaming Hassan. It's like, I feel like I'm down to take some blame once in a while. So you know what? Sure, me too, man. You should throw a sub. You should throw a Prime sub, or a tier 1, or a tier 2, or a tier 3. Or maybe even a gift sub. Because you don't know. 1 sub equals 1 name in the death note.
They should be kissing Denims' feet.
It's true. It's just the truth. I'm sorry. Contraman, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Hassan, you mean male denims? That's true, actually. That is actually factually true. Show ears and all sub. I don't know, man. Also, Chatter made a new emote if you guys want to enjoy it. Where'd I put it? Here it is. Which you can use for pack watch whenever and wherever. Put this off screen. You'd like. Suit era when? I mean. And for a limited time only, if you sub right now and use this emote, you get to have 1 wish for anything you want that might come true. It might not come true, but it might. It might. And isn't that maybe worth it? Make it a bit slower and it's perfect. No, I like that it's fast. Sophie, thank you for the 8 months. Luce, thank you for the Prime. Sheena, thank you so much for the gift subs to Little Bear. Gia, thank you for the Prime. Mr. Cirque, thank you for the tier 1. I wish for the rule of 3s. Let me say, it shall be done. It shall be done. Is that a cigar or a fucked up vape? What kind of fucking vapes have you seen? What the? Ah. I ain't never seen no vape like that before. Anyways, yeah. No, but in all honesty, thank you all for tuning in. I'm still streaming. It almost sounded like I was about to stop. But thank you guys for all of the support all the time. This stream is totally ad-free, totally sponsor-free. The only reason I get to do these broadcasts is because of your support. And not to brag or anything, but we did stream 4 days. Part-time, full-time Denims is completely back, obviously. So if you would like to support the broadcast, I really do appreciate it. Every sub matters. If you're sitting on a Prime and you'd like to support the stream and you like watching the streams and you get any value or entertainment at any time or point, I would appreciate it. I would appreciate any and all support because I really only get to do this show because of your guys' support. But seriously, I don't make any ad revenue. I don't make any sponsor revenue. I don't really make anything off of YouTube. I only make money and I only get to do this show because you guys support me. So if you like the show, you like that it exists, and you would like it to keep existing, support it. Because these things only get to exist if you support them. So you're blaming this shit on me? Yes, exactly. Yes. Gary, thank you for the 5 gifts. Munchies, thank you for the Prime. Chrono, thank you for the Prime. Paradox, thank you for the Prime. Anon, thank you for the gifts. Craven, thank you so much for the Prime. McCarp, thank you for the Prime. Yin, thank you for the Prime. Thanks, guys. Contra, thank you for the gift up to Hassan. Anon, thank you for the gifts up. Trey, thank you for the gifts up. Deidre, thank you so much for the 5. Valuetainment is real. I'm just saying. Where else will you get this level of valuetainment? Nowhere. Exactly. That's right. I'm here at the end. This is not the end. What are you talking about? Huh? Question mark? We haven't even gotten a chance to watch, where is it? Cotton talk about how great Holden Blood Feast was. Artemis, thank you so much for the 3 months. Chrono, thank you so much for the prime. Thanks, guys. Username, thank you for the prime. Hello, Dave. Thank you for the prime.
Kissing Denims' feet.
Oh, dude. See, this is the shit that I'm talking about, man. Sorry, this is a totally separate point for a brief moment before we get back on the pack watch. But like, straight up, this is, I don't feel like I don't feel like the progressive movement is asking for so much to see some regret and to see some apologies from people who endorsed Graham Plattner.
Under a microscope.
And you guys know I am the biggest Ro Khanna supporter, okay? If Ro Khanna has 1 million supporters, I am one of them. If he has 100 supporters, I am one of them. If he has 1 supporter, it is me. If he has none supporters, I am gone. I am Lindsey Graham, okay?
Your endorsement of Senate candidate Graham Plattner in Maine. He has since dropped out amid a swirl of controversies. Congressman, you stood by him through a series of previous controversies, from a tattoo resembling a Nazi symbol to his online posts blaming survivors of sexual assault, even after the New York Times published allegations from ex-girlfriends describing a pattern of emotional abuse, aggressive behavior, which he denies.
Sorry, to the people saying Ro Khanna kind of sus, like, first of all, can we discuss things comparatively for just a brief moment? Second, bro was literally detained by armed Israeli settlers like 2 days ago. Hello? In terms of being solid, this should be like the bare, like this is like, do you understand? Not bare minimum, but like this is like what I expect out of my candidates. Bro might be on a Hassan stream today. I actually don't know. Comeback politician of the year, APAC free, holding no punches. Yeah. I don't like any of these motherfuckers. Guys, I don't know how to explain this to you guys. This is not a doomer chat. Okay? I don't allow doomerism in my chat. You guys want to know why? Because doomerism is a mentality for losers, and I don't allow losers in here. Okay? If you've already given up and you're like, I don't like anyone, no one will ever. Okay, take 2 weeks. And if you have decided to not change your mind, maybe this stream is not for you. I engage in hopium, okay? I deal in hopium. I am your local hopium dealer. All right? I'm sorry. Not every politician is going to be perfect and perfect. Not even Mamdani has acted perfectly. I feel like he should have been able to get more concessions out of Kathy Hochul than he ended up getting. But not every politician is going to be perfect. It's about how many things they can deliver on and whether or not the most important things are delivered on. Gotta pick lesser evil? No, absolutely not. No, I'm saying if a politician, if you have like 5 important values, like anti-genocide as one of the 5, and they match those most important ones, it's not about lesser of 2 evils. It's about this person actually almost perfectly resembles my politics or almost perfectly replicates my politics, other than like 1 or 2 things. So of course I'm going to support them. It's not like what? It's not about lesser of 2 evils here. Because I think lesser of 2 evils is how we got the party that we ended up with in the first place, the Democratic Party that we got in the first place. I watched Hassan's interview with Ro Khanna at the DNC again the other night, and it's crazy to see how far he's come from what he thought before. Well, it's because he actually is willing, and here's the thing, right? I want more politicians that are willing to talk to voters, that are willing to talk to political commentators, that are willing to adjust and see, okay, this is not what voters want anymore. I understand. I will change. Because that's what public servants are there for. They're there to serve you, to listen, and then to adjust their behavior to give you what you want. You shouldn't be voting for a politician because they're perfect. You should be voting for the politician that will do what you ask them to do. That should be the purpose of politics. That is the only purpose of politics. And if a politician won't do what you want them to do, this is why the lesser of 2 evil things is so fucking stupid, because it's like, if they don't do what you want them to do, who cares that it's the lesser of 2 evils? We want responsive politicians. And genuinely, Ro Khanna has shifted his opinions on a lot of things, and he does what people want him to do. He doesn't just like compromise with Republicans, Cory Booker style, and just say, I just miss Lindsey Graham so much. And, he was always pulling me in. And, he was just great. And he was always willing to negotiate. And by negotiate, I mean, I would give him everything he wanted. And he would make no concessions, Like, I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. So if you're like, I don't like any politicians. Okay, grow up, dude. Then go watch fucking Love Island, dude. If you're not going to engage in a meaningful way, go.
We should say, why weren't those past controversies a breaking point for you?
For me, the line always was sexual assault or sexual violence. And as soon as that came out, I was the first person to withdraw my endorsement. But I will say I got that call wrong. And if there's some self-reflection, it is that we all need to see the signs earlier of people who may engage in domestic violence. Look, I wasn't the only one. You had Planned Parenthood, you had Senator Warren, you had the entire Democratic Party. But I did get that call wrong. I think what is important, though, is to understand his politics. He was opposed to foreign wars. He was opposed for Medicare for all.
He said he was opposed to them, and his actions said something different.
And why the progressive movement more broadly, why these issues are resonating.
Do you regret endorsing him?
Yes.
You flat out regret
I
endorsing
got that call
him.
wrong. I endorse a lot of people, but when I make a mistake, I take accountability. And I think what people want is the humility to take accountability if you make a call that's wrong.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories.
Let me say a couple things. Thank you for calling out Lesser of Two Evils. Go tell Kyle Kalinske that first. Yeah, no kidding, dude. I'm still upset about Kyle Kalinske. Ro Khanna literally said he wants Israel to stay as a Jewish state, so he's not the best, but critical support. I mean, again, I feel like Ro Khanna has shown that he has had a desire to listen to progressives. More important than that as well, this is my personal opinion, he's not beholden to AIPAC. Okay? He is not beholden to AIPAC. So I think, and you have to understand, think about what Mamdani said. Mamdani said, what did Kyle do? Just the Grand Platinum stuff. He's not doubling down, but I wish he had a more emphatic message for people saying like, sorry, I let you guys down and stuff, and I need to do better. But it was just like, yeah, okay, he dropped out. Okay, that's sad or whatever. It's like, oh, come on, man. Like, how do I know you're not just going to make this mistake again, right? I want to see something that signals that you're going to try to not make that mistake again. Does that make sense? What was I trying to say? It's good when they shift positions towards a good one, but I think a lot of people are skeptical of politicians simply paying lip service for both. But yeah, it's all about action. Well, think about the message that Mamdani had about, first of all, Bibi Netanyahu showing up in New York City and saying, we'd arrest him. And when asked the question, like, where's the first country you would go to? Everyone's like, Israel, Israel, Israel. And he's like, nowhere. I'm going to stay in New York because I love New York and I'm the mayor of New York, huh? And then everyone's like, can I change my answer to that one? I liked his answer more. I want to change it, please. Can I change that one? Or the fact that when he was asked, like, do you believe that Israel has a right to exist? The fact that Mamdani, the first politician I've seen, by the way, to give such a great fucking answer, to give like incredible answer. Oh, I believe that Israel has a right to exist as a state with equal rights for all of its people, that treats all of its people with equal rights. So like that is chef's kiss. And I think, and even despite him giving such a mild answer, and then the mobilize empanadas, the fact that he gave such a mild answer on that too, and then they all called him anti-Semitic, like every single establishment Democrat called him anti-Semitic and said, we need to address, who was it? Oh, this like, I'm pretty sure it's like this white woman. Oh, what was her name? I think she's a representative. Oh, I'm like blanking on her name. She went in so hard. Gillibrand. Yes. She was like, honestly, it disgusts me that someone so anti-Semitic would be so like, he must hate Jewish people. It's like, what the fuck? She's a senator, excuse me. I was like, what the fuck? So even though he didn't even say anything wrong, even though Mamdani didn't even say anything wrong, a bunch of establishment Dems started calling him anti-Semitic and a jihadist. So I understand Ro Khanna being hesitant because it doesn't feel like enough time has passed to meet the voters where they're at on Israel. But I think Ro Khanna would be down to change his perspective towards the Mamdani position. And again, I don't want politicians that are, honestly, I don't even care what a politician genuinely thinks. I just want them to do what I elected them to do. That's it. That's what I want. You can have whatever personal life that you have. And this is why when people were pretty reasonably, I would say, upset about the Gavin Newsom. Do you guys remember Gavin Newsom had like a party during COVID and there were no masks anywhere or whatever? I genuinely, my opinion was like, I kind of don't really care about that because I care more about whether or not the politician is outwardly saying that they care and enacting policies that benefit the people that live in that state. That's what I care more about. That's so much more important. Now, you shouldn't be a fucking hypocrite, ideally. But that's what actually matters. What actually matters is, are you pushing for policy that matters? Now, of course, Gavin Newsom is a shit show of a politician for other reasons, but how is Ro Khanna's position on Plattner different from Kyle? Well, yeah, because he said that he like regrets the endorsement, and he said like, you know, we need to be better at recognizing this stuff and seeing the signs, and it's not okay that like I wasn't the only person that endorsed him. Like, we should be better about that. Like, I think that's good. Is that not good? Isn't that what we should expect from our politicians? Delivery of message and intent? Yeah. But, okay. Here we go. Let me see. That's Denims, that's not the car? Huh? What does that mean? Where is it? Let me see. Like, where is his most recent video on Plattner? We're talking about Plattner dropping out. I'm like struggling to even find it. Hold up. Oh, here it is. Wait, it was right there. Breaking Graham Plattner accused of grape. It's like,
all right, y'all, got some major breaking news here that dropped earlier today. So Politico is reporting that Graham Plattner was accused of sexual assault. But if you actually read the article, the headline says sexual assault. If you actually read the article, it's very clear that the allegation is not sexual assault, it's grape. Okay, there's a few things about this that are extra concerning. The previous allegations were easy to dismiss because it was a literal Heritage Foundation Republican insider who was
like, do you what?
Making the allegations. Also, the allegations were effectively, he's a bad boyfriend. This is not that. This is a much more extreme allegation.
I mean, again, this is literally participating in rape culture, which is, how do we trust this person? They're on the other side of the aisle or whatever. It's like, dude, if the person who he had assaulted was a Republican, we should still listen, no?
Number one. Point number two is...
Or like, because in the case that she described that he was physically assaulting her.
She does have some corroborating evidence, and it's also, if we're being serious here, a Democrat who's making the allegation. In fact, she was hesitant to come forward because she says, I agree with Graham's politics, and I was caught between, like, what do I do here? Do I come forward? Do I stay quiet because I agree with his politics? And Graham dropped an emergency video earlier today. Take a look at that.
To directly address the troubling, serious, and false allegations against me. Any accusation of non-consensual behavior is categorically false. Over the last 10 months, I have been deeply humbled by the faith Mainers have put in me. You have welcomed me into your homes, into your places of work, into your restaurants, into your houses of worship. You have shown that a different kind of politics, one that puts the interests of people over corporations, is not just possible, but is inevitable. This movement we have built, the largest volunteer base in the history of Maine politics, the hundreds of thousands of grassroots donors, and the supporters across the ideological spectrum.
Dude, I don't want to hear this fucking piece of shit speak. I'm sorry. I'm not listening to this. I'm not.
And sees
Specifically, I'm not interested in listening to Graham Plattner
Susan
speak.
Collins defeated. And we will use every tool at our disposal to do so. As Maine goes, so goes the nation. As always.
So needless to say, very serious allegations, and there's evidence this time as well that there wasn't previously. And I honestly think he's going to drop out. I think he's almost certainly going to drop out. He's going to throw his weight behind whoever takes his place. There's some conversations about who that'll be, which...
Do you guys know when, like, Kyle does not shy away from being, like, extreme in his language? When he talks about, like, Trump, he's like, he needs to be impeached. We should be demanding that this guy get fucking impeached. But he's talking about Graham Plattner, and he's like, I think he'll drop out. It's like, dude, where's the Kyle that I actually like? What the hell? That would say he needs to drop out immediately. Like, anyone who is still fucking holding water for him is a fucking idiot. Like, you need to... It's like, what is the... You're not... I don't watch Kyle because I want someone that's lukewarm. What the hell?
I'll get to in a second. But let me also just say real quick, if you're a Republican, I am not remotely interested in your Plattner take. Because you have nominated a guy 3 times who is accused of much worse and much more than Graham Plattner. I simply don't want to hear it. There's a literal Wikipedia page dedicated to all of the allegations made against Donald J. Trump. There's nearly 30 different sexual assault, sexual harassment, and rape allegations made against Donald J. Trump. Every Republican knows that. No Republican fucking cares. Okay? So I'm just simply not interested in you pretending like you have a fucking conscience now and you're moral now when you're not remotely any of those things. So all of you go to Shut the Fuck Upsville, sincerely from the bottom of my heart. This is an internal issue between liberals and leftists and Democrats. Okay? You can go sit in the fucking corner and be the peanut gallery and wear the fucking dunce hat for all I care. So all you can shut the fuck up. That's point number 1. Point number 2 is, if you are Neera Tanden, shut the fuck up. She's going after Plattner now as well. You worked for Bill Clinton. You worked for fucking Bill Clinton, okay? This guy was accused of rape and all sorts of issues way more than Graham has been. Let's be serious about that. I'm not trying to downplay what Graham is being accused of here, but let's be serious. You don't get to pretend like you have a conscience and pretend like you have morality now in this moment. You simply don't, okay? It's convenient when you decide to trot it out. And then finally, I'll point out, listen, man, everybody's now abandoning Graham, and that's going to be effectively the death blow to the campaign. Ro Khanna took back his endorsement. Ruben Gallego took back his endorsement. I'm seeing everybody take back their endorsement. Apparently, Plattner's own staffers are now talking about replacing him. And so there is a legal mechanism at this point for him to drop out, for him to be replaced. And right now it's looking like Troy Jackson might take his place. And Troy Jackson is a former candidate for governor in Maine. He's the most progressive of the potential choices. Bernie backed his gubernatorial run. He's from like the same wing of the party. And like I said, I do think ultimately Graham is going to step aside and basically pass the torch to this guy, realizing that this is going to absolutely jeopardize the chance that he's able to defeat Susan Collins. There was a poll that came out, like a week or so ago that had the race basically tied. And there's some polls out today that have Troy Jackson beating Susan Collins. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but my guess is he's going to drop out. My guess is it's going to be somebody else who's, either DSA or DSA aligned, and this will all be a moot point anyway. But needless to say, it's a horrible story. There are horrible facts in there. You can go read the whole thing over at Politico if you want to see it. And that'll do it, man. As many others are saying, I think Hassan came out and said this too, stick a fork in him, he's done. Final thing is, we'll know the country is in a better place when people react with the same sort of moral outrage and condemnation to arming and funding genocide as they're reacting to this. It honestly drives me crazy that the majority of our elected officials in Washington, D.C., the majority of congresspeople and senators have voted to arm and fund genocide repeatedly. And it barely gets mentioned. Barely gets mentioned. Nobody's demanding somebody immediately drop out, rescinding endorsements, saying they need to be replaced, having hair on fire.
Okay, do you guys see what I mean when I say that people being like, well, what's the difference between this and what Ro Khanna said? It's like, I don't know everything.
Reactions, it's just standard operating procedure. And that's how you know that our politics are currently in hell. Again, I'm not trying to downplay what happened with Graham here and the allegations. The allegations are serious and there's evidence, and they're certainly way more credible than the previous ones. But I just wish that we can get our politics to a place where you also see this kind of a reaction when it comes to genocide. And I think we all need to ask ourselves why that's not already the case.
Also, I just want to say, like, really quickly to the chatters who said this, saying, but the allegations were not substantial as well, question mark. Did you read them? Remember, when the allegations had come out about Graham Plattner, that was after it was exposed that Graham Plattner had this Reddit account where he said all this insane shit about how much he loves going to war and he loves combat and he wished he could keep going to combat after it was exposed that he had worked for Blackwater for 6 months in 2018. After he was shown to be writing this, quote, holy fuck, how about people just take some responsibility for themselves and not get so fucked up when they wind up having sex with someone they don't mean to. Men and women, you make a choice to consume enough of a substance to lose your self-control. So if you don't want to be in a compromising situation, act like an adult for fuck's sake. Rape is a real thing. If you're so worried about it to buy Kevlar underwear, you'd think you might not get blacked out, fucked up around people you aren't comfortable with. This is Graham Plattner's Reddit account that was resurfaced. And this is what he was writing in 2019. Okay, and the woman who came out against him, what she said was, Fifield alleged that Plattner frequently grabbed her by the shoulders and once yanked her out of a taxi by her wrist. During one argument, she recalled he twisted her arm behind her back, shoved her into a bedroom, and held the door closed from the other side so she couldn't get out, and telling her to remain there until she was calm. And also said that he would sharpen an axe while watching TV and left an AR-15 lying around in his apartment in Washington. And she said he described women as hatchet wounds, a crude reference to female anatomy, and repeatedly asserted, if anyone ever broke in here, I would rape them, adding that this would not be in a sexual way, not in a gay way. Fifield told the paper he was like, I would rape them to show I'm dominant. Like, at some point, you have to be actively ignoring the red flags. Like, you have to be actively ignoring and being like, well, you know, those Reddit comments were from 2019. That's so long ago. Haha. And really, you know, who hasn't twisted their partner's arm behind their back, shoved them into a bedroom, and held it closed from the other side so they couldn't get out? Who hasn't done that? Who amongst... It's like, I think at some point you have to be actively ignoring some stuff to be like, especially to say so blatantly, like this is all bullshit. This is all just like a smear campaign. It's like, I don't know, man. What if it wasn't a smear campaign and it was someone saying something that happened? You know, like, maybe we shouldn't describe any time someone comes out about something as a smear campaign. That's my problem. That's it. That's the only thing. That's the only problem that I have, which is we shouldn't participate in a rape culture that makes people feel like they can put their name. They're not even reporting this stuff anonymously. Their whole name is behind it. And it's like, yeah, but this has to be a smear campaign. It's like, what? And I understand the people that are like responding and saying like, you know, I just don't think that that meets the bar for like, we can't have Plattner in Maine anymore. I believe her, but I just don't think that like that fundamentally changes my perspective on Plattner. Like, at least like that's still like reasonable, right? I feel like there should be nothing. Kyle apologized. He didn't apologize. What? He just said, I think he's going to drop out now. We just watched the whole video. I didn't even interrupt it. I think I paused it twice so I wouldn't interrupt it. Like, he didn't even apologize for it. And it's not about apologizing to me. It's just like apologizing to misleading people about like making Graham Plattner out to be someone who like there's no way anything against him could be credible. You know, like it's just like I thought a chatter said that he did. No, he didn't. Maybe it's like a different video or something, but I looked at all the other ones and he hasn't talked about it. So yeah, like is it so unreasonable to say that like the response should be closer to what Ro Khanna said? I don't think that that's unreasonable. You guys can tell me if you think I'm being unreasonable. All I'm asking for is like something like what Ro Khanna said, where he's just like, yeah, that was my bad. I was wrong. We should have been able to know this. We should have like done our homework. We shouldn't have allowed ourselves to ignore so many red flags. Obviously taking back my endorsement. Obviously I don't want him to win. I want him to drop out, but yeah, we'll try and be better and we'll try not to like miss this stuff in the future. Like, I don't know. That's like, I don't think that's asking for too much. I really don't. That doesn't feel like that much. I don't know. I think Ryan and Kyle are not politicians, but they're also humans who are clearly conflicted about endorsing Graham and not dealing with it well. I know this isn't your intention, man, but like you are infantilizing like adult men. You're infantilizing dudes that are like 40. They're just not dealing with it well. Like, everyone wants to pillory them for personal satisfaction. It's not about personal satisfaction. I don't know what, like, whoever you're talking about, I don't know who you're talking about. I'm just saying that it would be cool to see some accountability and some effort in the future to not make the same mistake. I don't think that that's unreasonable. If you think it's unreasonable to ask that a political commentator that convinces people of political positions be more responsible with what they convince people of, like, that's, I think you're giving them way too much charitable. What? I think it's easy to say you would immediately throw a friend under the bus for horrible things they have done. I have. It's a whole or the other thing to do it. I have. A very close friend of mine that I literally, for a year straight, would not stop thinking about how sad I was that I lost that friendship. I spoke to them and told them that their behavior was completely unacceptable. And I couldn't be friends with someone who engaged in that behavior unless they were willing to work on it and change. And then I ended that friendship. So yes, I have. What? Sometimes, yeah, you just have to do it if you want to be fair to both yourself and them. Yeah, I don't. Guy was one of Plattner's biggest champions. He's always been Blue MAGA IMO. I don't think he's like necessarily Blue MAGA. And like, also, if anything, do you know how depressing it is that I can't watch Kyle? I love watching Kyle in the pre-show. And I can't watch it. Do you know how badly I want to ignore it and be like, no, it's okay that Kyle did that. Like, we're just going to keep watching his videos because I like watching them. Do you know how much you do? I don't want to do this. And I'm choosing to do this despite that. No, I don't know Denim's personal choices. I'm saying it's another thing to demand that others meet your standard that's not realistic. It's not realistic to ask that political commentators disavow rapists. Huh? You know what's crazy? There were a lot of people that met that standard very easily. Hassan met that standard very easily. Emma met that standard very easily. Sam Cedar met that standard very easily. In what world should we not expect people to hold the same standards that we do about rapists? Like, what? Whether Hassan never endorsed Graham Plattner? No, I know. I know he didn't. But he was good about, like, saying, you know, that Graham Plattner should drop out, that he's disappointed, that he should have been better about it. Like, what? Ryan did. Oh my God. You've, like, lost the plot completely. You've lost the plot completely. I can't, dude. I can't. I want you to know you're making the exact same argument that Ethan Klein makes about not supporting Israel. That he says it's okay for him to say he wants to take his family to Israel to show them how multicultural it is and how diverse it is and how beautiful it is, because he said that genocide is bad. You can't do what Ryan Grimm did and then also at the same time say, like, but just so you guys know, rape is bad. He did on Friday talking to Emma. It was terrible. What the fuck are you talking about, man? We watched it on stream. It was not good. Hmm? It should be easy to cut out a literal rapist out of your friend group. I know when I was younger, I'd basically immediately stop associating with friends who showed sketchiness around rape and sexual assault. Immediately don't associate with that person anymore. Probably report them if you have seen something. Yeah, like I don't... Okay, I don't see it the same way. Cheers. So you think that Ethan Klein is not at all pro-Israel? I'm asking you a genuine question. You're accusing me of saying things I'm not saying. I didn't even say that you said anything. What? What? I haven't accused you of saying anything. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't get the E-Connect. You don't get to hide behind a couple instances of you saying and doing the right things. That to avoid criticism about acting incorrectly. Right? It's kind of like if I like kept showing up at your place and like breaking cups all of the time, and sometimes it almost looks intentional. And then I'm like, I just want you to know, I don't like to, you know, accidentally destroy furniture or products or goods. And I would never do anything that would be at like financial risk to you or damage to you. And I would never do anything like that. And then you literally watch me like a cat knock over a vase of yours. And I'm like, but just so you know, I am not for engaging in destruction of anyone's items. I understand, you know, like that's fucked up to do that. And then I just do it again. It's like, I can't hide behind my statements when my actions speak louder than those statements. And that's like the same idea. It's like, you can't just say over and over again, by the way, rape is bad and we should believe rape victims. And then also cast all this doubt onto like, Rassicot's story. And say it's irresponsible the way that we're treating Plattner like some guy who broke in and raped her. And it's like, what? Like, and then people will say, but he said he's against rape. It's like, yeah, but you can't just say one thing and then also say the exact opposite. Something that engages in rape culture and then ignore that. Like, huh? Doesn't matter if you broke in or not unless you're a judge. Yeah. Was trying to muddy the waters. Yeah. Did you see the Jon Stewart interview a month ago where he says rape? Wait, what do you mean? But anyways, yeah. When does people like Kyle and Ryan have yet to take accountability in their part for muddying those water? Well, no. Ryan was like a totally different story. That was like a mess. That was a total shit show. But Kyle is just like sadness and disappointment. Ryan is like, I don't have any positive words to say. By the way, chat, remember when I told you guys, you know how I've always told you guys like 100 times that like leftism has this massive misogyny problem that everyone just ignores? And there's a lot of people that are down to like, it's like the only, I would say, I think it was like I would argue it's the most prominent problem or like blind eye of people on the left where like so much shit will just get ignored. And then when you call anyone on any of it, it's like, I just think you're being really harsh on him. It's just like, you're just being so harsh on him. It's like, what? What? Are you kidding me? You get called woke of the day? Yeah, it's so annoying. Be reasonable. This is why we can't win. You're dividing us. I feel like I've talked about this before and like people are like, no, that's not true. People wouldn't do that. And it's like, I feel like we've kind of seen it playing out right now with everything Plattner related. Because it's like, you guys are still defending these people who are not acting correctly. Like, you should not want anyone to speak the way that Ryan Grimm spoke about a rape victim. Like, that should be a massive red line for you. And people are defending it. And they're defending it wholeheartedly. And it's like, oh my God. And when you criticize them for that, they're like, you're just being really harsh on Ryan Grimm right now. He was tricked. He's just a 40-year-old adult that was tricked. Okay? He was literally groomed into thinking that Plattner was a good guy. It's like, what? Ryan Grimm was ready to like fucking personally have Kat Abu Ghazali like crucified for saying what she did about Taiwan. He was ready to like completely destroy her campaign. There was no charitability by Ryan Grimm's part at all for Kat Abu Ghazali. At all. And then when it comes to a literal rapist, it's like, yeah, I just want to make sure everybody knows that that Graham Plattner didn't break into her home and rape her. It's like, what? shouldn't you be taking this, like, shouldn't you be treating this at least like a fraction? With like, at least, what? Oh my God. And then you find out like they were friends before and it's like, oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. But unfortunately, like, listen, guys, I'll just wait for like a male video essayist to make a video about how men have blind spots, and then I'll play it for the people who still don't understand. Because I'm never going to be the person that's going to explain it to these people. I'm too, not male presenting. I'll hit Noah Samson up and be like, hey, can you make a video about how men should be better so I can play it on my stream, so I can show it to the men so they can be like, oh, I get it now. I get it. No, what he said was wrong. No, you're right. You're right. Thank goodness you put a man on the screen to say it. Thank God. Oh, I was so stressed. Thank you. Put on the fake mustache. Yeah, I just need to do the Dr. Jihad cosplay. God. All right. It's so true. I want to bang my head at the wall for all these so-called leftists in chat at the moment in IRL. To be clear, I just want to say like 99% of chatters are all based, okay? So I apologize for being upset about like the less than 1% that have just been like holding like water for these people that like suck. I mean, this kind of happened. Do you guys remember when this happened a little bit with Andrew Callahan? Where I was like, guys, I like Andrew Callahan. I want to watch his videos. Do you think it makes me happy to not watch Andrew Callahan? No. But this is disappointing, and I can't watch a guy that's like getting accused by so many women of sexual assault. And there were still people being like, but like, I don't know, like, I feel like it just doesn't make any sense. It's like, check bio, Palestine flag in bio. It's like, what? Just because you like someone doesn't mean you excuse their behavior, dude. What the fuck? It means you're more understanding and give them an opportunity to correct their behavior if they've never given you a reason to believe that they would act that way. But it doesn't mean when they fuck up, you're just like, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I don't know. It's not a big deal. So crazy. So crazy. All right. Sorry to talk about Plattner again. All right. No more Plattner talks. From now on, maybe I'll even fucking like get rid of Plattner. Maybe Plattner will be like a timeout message or something because I'm just tired of talking about it. Because I'm not going to make these people, like, I'm not going to, anyone who still disagrees with me and is like, and they still don't think that there was anything wrong about how Ryan presented what he did, and people who still don't think that there's anything wrong with Kyle not like, with what Kyle put out instead of what he should have put out. If you don't see my perspective at this point, you're probably never going to see my perspective, and you just don't want to be upset at your favorite internet bros or whatever. So like, I just don't, if I'm not going to convince you, I'm not going to convince you. Does it look crazy or people can't see it? Yeah, I don't know. But no, you guys are right. Today's a celebratory day. Today's a celebratory day, and we should stay on celebration. Dude, this post. Is Mitch McConnell even in this thing? Damn, Lindsey Graham? I'll take it. Dude, Mitch McConnell's silence on Lindsey Graham's passing is deafening. Stop. 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 Okay. Close this. Close. Yeah, shout out to Rokana. Why did I bring up Rokana? Forgot why I brought him up. I'm excited for the interview. If he's actually going on, I don't know if he's actually going on Hassan's stream or if it's just like he's watching an interview or what, but Oh. Charlie Kirk is awfully silent as well. Shut up, dude. Stop. All right. Let's close this. Close this. Oh, God, dude. All right. Close. Close. Perfect. Now, with that, guys, I think we send off with one more of these for the end of today. All right? We got to celebrate a shitty person leaving. All right? We got to have some good news. Once in a while, we get to have some fucking good news around here. And with that, I'm gonna head off. Guys, hold me accountable. Don't let me talk about Plattner anymore. I'd like to move on. I'm done having these conversations and I keep getting stun locked by it. Okay? All right. And with that, I will be heading off. Please, everyone, have a great rest of your day. Stay hydrated. Tell your homies you love them. And I will see all of you guys on Thursday. Bye.